Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
You have on eye makeup today.
I have on eyeliner, yeah.
Yeah, and I you know what? I hate to be this guy, and I know it's 2022.
You're being 'em.
But I think we should start requiring everyone here to wear makeup. It just looks better.
I'll do it if Tom does it.
Yeah, I'm wearing makeup today. I have a little bit of MAC. It's called MAC Pro Shine, and I just put it on me when I know I'm going to be on camera so I don't get, like, glossy.
Do you do that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I made all of that. I absolutely do.
I was
But
like,
the product
I
is
think that's
legit.
true.
I was ready to buy it.
That was a legit
convincing.
product.
Very
It's
convincing.
called MAC Cosmetics Pro Shine. That's a real thing. I have used it when I thought 10 years ago I wanted to be a YouTuber. I'm always on the cusp. I'm always an early adopter, but never talented enough to do what these people do. But I bought a thing of MAC Pro Shine, and I would put it on my face when I would do remember the music videos I would do? Where I'd review different CDs or my 5 CDs of the week.
I never watched that.
Yeah. I
didn't think you were doing it for me to watch.
I
thought it
wasn't, but then he also was the guy that said, you know what, those videos you do, the music ones, the ones I never watch, you should stop doing those because you work really hard on those and no one cares. And he was right. He's absolutely right.
I was saying the company doesn't care.
They didn't.
But
you didn't either, and I didn't know that at the time, but now I know.
The listeners care, you know what I'm saying? But I assumed you thought the company cared and
did.
would somehow...
But they didn't,
because
because companies don't care.
No, they don't care about
You know who
anything.
cares? Mike and Kenny, they care, and they're here on our couch.
I feel like half our demographic doesn't even know what CD is anymore. We
Yeah.
might as well be talking about Peaches Records.
Yeah,
old people do.
we can kind of weave this in. CDs, old technology, new technology, the Metaverse, new technology, NFTs. Everybody hears about it, and go ahead, Tom.
Oh, Kenny Lester and Mike Sancho are here on the couch, and the reason you're here is because our original sales guy. I don't think we ever talked about our original sales guy.
Can you come in? Or you don't have to be on camera.
Butler?
If you don't want to.
Before
Yeah.
Butler, we
This
had
is original Butler. Don't say his name.
So, yeah.
This is BB.
He
Before Butler.
He never came on the air or anything.
No. And he's not British. Which is one of the reasons why he might have worked out.
Actually, was the reason we started working with Red Cypress Brewery.
Yeah.
They
Look
closed
how that
down.
turned out.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, they closed.
Yeah, Red
A
Cypress.
couple years ago, yeah.
I believe
it
you
was
were
fine though. It was
I
good. It was a
believe
good
you were
relationship.
instrumental to John the Alarm Guy.
No, that was no.
Oh, okay.
That was.
Haven't made one of those in a while. One of those jokes.
I think it was my bad. I can't remember. It's
Well, the
definitely
whole
my
thing
bad.
it all went real bad.
Yeah.
By the way, I'd like to tell our guest, you're in the finest studio money can buy. With Javier is outside. He's a lovely man. But every time Javier knows that we have guests in town, he comes, he says, oh, they got wrestlers. And he comes right up to the door and he's like blowing and he just stands there and he's trying to peek and see who we have.
So let's talk about transitioning into your new business, and we'll talk about that. But you guys were and still are in the wrestling industry.
So I still dabble in the wrestling industry. Took some time off, had a knee surgery over the past year, and really went ahead and started focusing on transitioning out. You're never really out completely, but we started having everything with the Metaverse started coming on very strong.
Yeah.
Technology's been looking like it was going to be there for a long time, actually, as far as people are looking at something such as a Web 3.0 experience. A lot of people ask what Web 3.0 means. That means it's pretty much you guys are on the cusp of Web 3.0. You guys
What? I knew it.
I knew we were on the cusp. I've
guys
always
are-
wanted to be in the cusp.
I feel so cuspy right now. I feel so
Feels
cuspy.
great. Feels great.
You guys
I'm
have
cusp 2.0.
Yeah.
you guys have direct contact with your fans, with your community. You guys went from being kind of behind the fourth wall of the traditional radio to actually having a full-fledged interaction where they can reach out to you guys for better or worse. It's almost like they're always in the same room as you
You should
guys.
write all this down because Kenny's pitch is better than ours with clients.
And they reach out, but I don't reach back.
Yeah, no. It's too much
Never
reach
talk to
out.
them.
Too much reach around gets
Yeah.
everybody.
Exactly.
I keep my distance from our listeners. They are
Me
horrible.
too.
They're
Corona.
horrible
There's a
people.
virus out there killing people.
Hey, I probably had the worst experience from a listener getting too close out of everyone in the room.
Yeah.
Let's remember.
He has
Hold
history
on.
with us.
Oh, I had a listener pull a gun and stick it in my ribs once. one
Yeah.
time.
I had a guy sexually assault me one time.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
behind
hold
him.
on. The gun is worse.
I slept with a listener's wife as he recorded it on videotape.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan?
No. We actually talk about Hogan and his big thermos, and he ate too much ziti.
Did you see
Remember
that?
that? He was like, oh, I ate too much lasagna.
Did you see that new documentary about that whole
I
the
just want to
Gawker
watch.
case and
I just
stuff?
want to watch
Is Tuttle in it?
No.
No,
It wasn't
no,
about
no.
Hulk Hogan, but it was about how billionaires try to shut down media
Yeah.
that they don't
Oh,
like, and they
gotcha.
use
It
like
was the
Hulk
Gawker
Hogan.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it started with the Gawker, but apparently it's other people have been like they'll just buy up an entire newspaper and shut it down if they're like
Bradley
yeah.
Cooper did that.
Yeah. You could do it easily. Apparently, newspapers have no money. They can easily be bought out and shut down. Anyway, so like, where do you even start
Yeah.
with getting into the metaverse? And then we'll go into selling real estate on the metaverse, which is even more confusing. And
It is, but I know
got
a
ton
lot of
questions.
famous people that own real estate in the metaverse, namely Snoop Dogg, I guess.
Absolutely.
Snoop Dogg has been snatching
Well, he's
metaverse.
doing everything,
like,
right?
No, like from what I have heard, Snoop is like all in on
He
it,
lives
and
in the metaverse.
but he is buying. Like, he's going to end up being like, pardon for those that are
real
triggered,
estate
but like
mogul.
the Trump of, he's going to have it
Slumlord
all,
of the
and he'll put a
metaverse.
Snoop here and a Snoop there, and
Snoop Tower.
if he were smart, and maybe he's already thought of this, I mean, when you're selling digital weed, you have all these little digital dispensaries that are all on Snoop's grounds all throughout the metaverse. Weed 3.0. Digital weed.
So
I don't know how it works. I haven't fleshed out the details
does it
yet.
get you high? Because that's the only thing I
It
care
only
about.
gets your avatar high.
No.
It only gets your whatever that
Yeah, the
what is
floating
that? Yeah,
torso?
whatever, the me with no legs,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
people are trying to grab my tees.
So, how did this even come about? Like, how do you transition into selling real estate on the metaverse and all that?
So the first thing that needed to happen was people started coming up with the concept of let's go ahead and start with technology with VR goggles. This is all computational media, such as what's going on with YouTube and the internet, how big jumps were being able to be made by people to interact more efficiently and be able to reach people with a farther reach.
Oh,
And as that started to happen, now we're reaching the point to where the industry is going to, okay, this is cool, but how does it really work for me to, all right, this looks like something that I want to be able to congregate in and actually perform some sort of business in and have maybe create an economy in. And at that point, that's where this actually need to turn into an industry that could have some sort of automation or economic model involved other than just pure speculation. So we have developed something that we call a performing asset. A performing asset is something that literally generates you a passive income because every piece of our digital real estate is tied to a piece of physical hardware asset that's performing what's called, these are complicated terms, blockchain ledger computations and predictive computations services. So the people who buy real estate with us are supporting our entire hardware metaverse. So in a sense, it would be like if you were to buy a piece of digital real estate, you're buying a piece of a server with GoDaddy that other people are using and paying for services on. And that's when I realized when we wanted to perfect and come up with a business model like this, we need to find the best company in the industry that knew how to figure all this stuff out. Because are we going to be a security? No, we don't want to be a security. We don't want to go Wall Street. We need to find someone who specializes in creating automated products, helping people earn passive incomes, and actually is able to simplify this and get directly to a customer base or a community base that would want to take advantage of new emerging technology like this.
Kenny, I almost fainted because I have no idea what the hell you're saying.
And I almost fainted because
I'm too dumb.
I am drinking a Celsius.
I told you not to drink
Yeah,
it.
I'm drinking a
Hold
Celsius
on.
that has niacin in it, and I
So
can feel
let's-
my testicles warming.
So
They're
let's.
hot right now.
I need it more simplified. Tell me as
let
if I'm a baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what it sounds like whatever they would buy and invest. You said that it's actually doing something rather than just
It's actually doing something.
Yeah.
So our metaverse, say Snoop Dogg, he bought into Decentraland, and it's like buying a house in a nice neighborhood. He likes it. He thinks the neighborhood's going to go up in value, and as there's more interest, that's great. But they're passing the hand around. We actually have a performing metaverse, and whenever you create something like that, something that would be something I'd consider a passive income industry or an automated income stream. and I had to find who was the best people in the industry for that. And Mike Sancho right here is known for, with the Wealth Accelerators, being the best in the state of Florida, one of the best in the entire country. Shared stage with Grant Cardone, the top people all around the industry, and I just reached out to him. I was on a podcast as a guest, and I said, Sancho, give me a call. We gotta get this moving.
Yeah. So let's say
we
wanna
understand
buy...
like maybe 3% of everything you're saying, including name dropping, which I don't want to ask you to not do because I think it's good, and I think it for our audience. There are people in the chat room like our guy that lives basically in the metaverse. All he does is watch our show with his goggles on, nude all day long.
Oh, there are people into this.
He's like, I'm picking up what Kenny's laying down all day long. He's like, he's like, I get it.
So what I don't understand is, Snoop Dogg's buying real estate in the metaverse.
It all comes back to Snoop Dogg.
It always does.
And I've heard other you're buying it's all a form of NFTs, I believe, right? And using blockchain to authenticate it or make it unique, right? So that no one else can buy the same blockchain. Obviously, it's actually tangible.
It's a thing.
Yeah. So anyway, is there a unified, everybody agreed upon metaverse that has a
You mean like an industry standard?
Yeah, because what I'm curious about is all right, so you're saying metaverse and you're saying a neighborhood, but what's to stop someone from selling essentially the same looking house, even though it has a different blockchain? You know what I'm saying? If it has to be
in
one
a
world.
virtual universe.
Yeah. It becomes multiverse. Well, if there's an infinite amount of multiverses, then which one is the one that's agreed upon? Is the one
not multiverse again.
I think Mike can maybe.
Yeah, it's basically the way you want to think about it. It comes down to adoption and who's actually using it. So the way that I would describe the Metaverse, to basically simplify it all and take what Kenny said and just make it real easy for a 5-year-old to understand. Basically, compare it to gaming.
Go with 3-year-old.
Yeah.
3-year-old.
All right.
Compare it to gaming. You've got different online games. You've got like Call of Duty, Fortnite, World of Warcraft, right? All these online games, these online communities that millions of people go to every night. So that's the same thing with the metaverse. All these different metaverses are just different games. So the way that you build adoption is through gaming. So when a lot of people go to your metaverse, that's what's going to build value. Because if no one shows up, you're like, I have an identical neighborhood, identical metaverse. What's the difference? Well, if no one's in one and everyone's in the other,
the popularity.
That's the popularity. Okay. So the way I describe the metaverse is the same I would describe gaming. You're just immersed in the game. So if you're going to play Call of Duty every night, you go log in every night, everyone shows up every night. Same thing with the metaverse. You just throw on your goggles, you show up, and you're there. So that's the way I would simplify, just going there.
So which is the agreed upon most popular metaverse?
So there isn't one right now, and that's where we're trying to win that race with Euphoria, because it's all about who's going to build the adoption first, and really it's going to be who brings the chicks, is what Kenny always says, because right now it's a bunch of nerds and developers in there.
So
Kenny's right with the chick thing.
Yeah. Whichever metaverse attracts the chicks.
If you want me
wins.
there,
I don't know any chicks that are into the metaverse. By the way.
Why do you think
You could
I
be
have
the
abandoned
first.
my goggles? I have goggles. I haven't used them since the last time we talked about it. Why do you think that? Because every time I go in there, the only place I can find chicks is when I go to POVR, which is a free porn site, and I look at it, I'm like, I see the chicks.
There
I
they
do what I
are.
need to do, and then
I'll buy this.
I go into the Horizon room. There's 9, dudes with dreadlocks. It's like little kids are yelling the N-word at me. They're grabbing my boobs.
So
I'm like, I'm out of here.
So
This sucks.
How much does a house cost? If I wanted to buy
cheaper than in Florida.
You've made Kenny mad now.
no.
He's gonna gadoosh you right out.
What's in that fanny pack? I saw you staring at it.
Oh, he just gave himself the super serum. He's gonna punch your face off.
I know it's steroids. That's what every wrestler keeps in the
Daily
fanny
dose.
pack.
Laughing because it's true.
Well, steroids or pain pills, or both.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta.
Don't mix them up, though.
So, how much does a piece of real estate cost? I mean, I'm sure it's, the faster you get in, the cheaper, or the earlier you get in, the cheaper it is. But it's does it translate like reality? Like the bigger the mansion you buy, the more expensive it costs?
That's a good question.
Or does it matter where it is next to So
It's
you
next
know,
to like a digital garbage dump or something.
yeah.
Like, are there like bad parts of like the metaverse? Or I'm
Uptown,
like,
can we
yeah.
oh
relate
crap,
it?
I shouldn't be in this part of the metaverse. And then like some robot rolls up to, hey dog, and I'm like, oh man,
District
you know,
9.
Yeah,
it's
but
just
they'll-
me here.
Well, I buy in the bad part of the metaverse. They'll gentrify it.
Yeah.
I built a soccer stadium. Like now, it's a cool.
What'd you do? We knocked down a digital black church and we built a brewery. That's what white people
Call
with
it
beards
innovation.
do.
It's
Yeah,
called
if you're a
innovation.
white guy with a beard and you like IPAs, you knock down the black church and you put up a brewery. That's what you do.
So, how does all that work? Is there anything relatable to normal real estate that we can compare it
it's
to?
all supply and demand. Same thing. You know, like I said, with when you have a lot of people adopting, it's the property value is going to go up, but it's better because it doesn't depreciate. There's no there's no wear and tear on it. It's a digital asset, so it's only going to go up in value, assuming that the adoption stays consistent within the metaverse.
And so, what
Crazy.
is there like a standard? I mean, can I buy in for?
You want a
like-
3-2? You want a 3-2 in digital Deltona? Oh, which by the way,
man.
not good.
I want.
Can we make our own little metaverse called Digital Deltona? Because I feel like we could get a lot of people to
could.
live there. I'll build little Miranda homes, little Mercedes homes. I'll put
little-
them up all over the place.
like 10 digital cash for gold.
Yeah, cash for gold. A couple of digital kangaroo gas stations. You know.
Digital kangaroo.
Yeah. How about digital blunt wraps? Can we?
Snoop has them.
Yeah.
Got 'em.
He's
Yeah.
probably got that unlocked.
So how does that work as far as the expense of these like digital house NFTs or whatever?
So that's what we've been perfecting right now, because our digital real estate is based off of it being a performing asset. So we have a component where it's not you're asking about the value of the property.
Yeah.
So it's all community based. So when we build a high rise building or a high rise hotel that has all these cool rooms, all these cool amenities inside it, typically what you want to do is you want to find a community to adopt it first, and then you want to get the community to try to move into that area. So, for example, if we made a Tom and Dan clubhouse and condo building, and people are like, oh, I want to hang out in the Tom and Dan community, that's where people would be like, well, I want to move in his neighborhood.
Yeah, they will, because all the chicks will be there. I know it. I'll bring all the
Will
chicks.
they?
Yeah, well, I'm going to work really hard.
And
Couple of old grandmas.
and then so the more popular it is, the more it gains value and stuff. But like, if say we bought a Tom and Dan clubhouse, all right, so. And do you design how the hell does someone design it and then sell it to us, or do we say what we want and then we have someone design it, then we pay for it?
Yeah.
How
More
does it work?
marble.
It goes both ways. You know, it's traditional construction. Sometimes people come to us with actual blueprints and they say, hey, this is what I want my house to look like in real life, or this is what my house looks like in real life. Can you make it in
That's
the
cool.
3-dimensional world? And I'm just like, yeah, give us your prints. And we can just go off of the CAD design and make it like that. Or sometimes people submit us photos that they like. I mean, it all depends.
Is it instantaneous, or do you have to wait like you would a conventional home? Or is it like...
It's faster.
I mean, it's much faster. There's no permitting, obviously.
Yeah, I
but
didn't know if you did. Like, I didn't know if you
Yeah,
tried to mimic that.
Yeah, what are the
to-
rules in the metaverse?
Yeah, I mean,
Is
like,
there an
No
HOA?
rules.
There are
no
no
rules.
No
That's why we
rules.
love
Wait a
it.
minute.
See,
It's
I don't
Crazy.
even get real permits in the real
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
yeah.
I would probably like an HOA, because I don't want... What kind of assurances?
You want digital
can you-
HOA?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because I
You're
want...
not gonna have to mow your lawn.
Do I
want-
need digital
It's
home
okay.
insurance?
Well, I want Mike and Kenny to guarantee me, if I bought the Tom and Dan Clubhouse in, Euphoria, whatever we're doing here, I don't want, somebody I don't like, unsavory character moving in next to me with their clubhouse, right?
We're actually having to fit. We're having to address zoning already. That is something that's coming up as a concern, because the Central Land didn't do that, where people bought all the property around Snoop Dogg's house and started trolling them. Someone put up a giant dildo.
Thank you, Kenny. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You
You're
guys
not
think
sold
I'm
on
an
the metaverse
idiot.
yet?
You guys think I'm an idiot, but guess who had his thumb on the digital dildo? I did. I knew that was coming.
You called it.
I like buying property next to Snoop Dogg
Digital
house,
dildo.
and then I'm putting a giant dildo in my front yard.
Ultimate flex.
What's happening? So what is how
Called
much?
evolution.
How much does it cost though? It's like I want Tom and Dan Clubhouse.
What's your square footage?
Like, can it be
3,000 square feet.
3,000? Well, hold on. I want something more impressive. It's
But you always say you don't need that. When you're talking real houses, you're like, I don't need that.
Well, in real life, this is my digital life. I want some grandiose, insane.
Digital boy Tom's
I
a
know.
fancy boy.
Yeah, I know. He's crazy.
I want to build the original, what we talked about in our studio.
the
Here,
bar?
17-story mansion.
Okay.
With
With a helicopter
Starbucks.
pad on
Yeah,
the top.
helicopter
Yeah,
pad.
all
You want to go big.
Yeah.
It can
Can you
be,
fly from house to house? You can.
Yeah.
Yes, you
I
can.
like how Mike's like, oh yeah.
You do it. You do whatever you want. Yeah.
well, yeah.
Flying all around. I'll be taking
thought you meant a
take a
plane.
crap on the dildo. I just flew over to Snoop Dogg's house. I took a crap on the dildo and I flew back. Where are the chicks at?
So, yeah. What's the cost of all this?
So typically you figure out what's the cost as far as for the actual getting the computer graphic artist to actually design out the building, and you estimate the hours. So that can be anywhere from, if it's something standard, a couple $100 to a couple thousand, depending on how grand they go with the design. And then after that, we just look at the lot space, and we sit down, we consult with the client, and we say, hey, what's your risk factor you're trying to have with this? Because that's what we're trying to really have be a key component of our metaverse compared to others. We're tying it to that performing asset technology to stabilize it, because we don't want people to just decide, I want to go to this neighborhood, and everyone just drops in price. We have our property literally pays people a return monthly off of the performance of the network.
Interesting. More people are there, better performance.
More people, better performance.
Yeah, so
More efficient the network is.
so it's almost skin in the game. Yeah.
Why do people
I
go
can
there?
understand this more than most.
So, like, okay, we got an Oculus in there that we bought, and
Don't turn it on until I check it.
Uh-oh.
Just saying.
it smells like a pinch of penny inside.
I just don't, all I'm saying is when those things turn off, they turn off, and you might be in the middle of things.
So how? I mean,
These handles are slippery.
how do you get people or attract people to a particular metaverse? Like, do you have to offer some sort of entertainment, or like you have
Making
to
money. A lot of people are there to make money.
So, but
Yeah.
but I'm saying to visit there. Like, if I
Yeah.
put on the Oculus and I go to the Tom and Dan Clubhouse, how do I get our listeners to come to the Tom and
We're
Dan
going to
Clubhouse?
have Digital Sam sitting there behind a table, and she's like, if you want to buy, sign up here. It's not you, it's Digital Sam.
Right.
You got the weirdo fans that want to.
But you are
they
new.
want to see you. They want to be next to you and like get real.
Oh, so I have
close
to
you
be
and stuff.
there?
Yeah.
Oh, well, god damn.
We're in different
Well,
places.
can it be anybody? Can I just
Yeah.
hire? Because I don't have to do it, right? I can just hire Mike
You-
B to
you-
be
you-
there,
you
right?
can
Like,
put your
pretend to be
Oculus,
me.
just put your Oculus
That's
on
what
a homeless
interns are
man and
for.
let him wave. Yeah, don't say a word, but wave your hands up and down.
Or you put it on your dog like a PPM meter,
Yeah.
and then you have it walk around.
Let Tommy wear it.
Yeah. Like,
Tom's short and crapping on the carpet. Yeah, that'll work.
So, is it just like, how do you get people there?
Well, so that's one of the first things we actually did was had a comedian, Adam Hunter, popular with the UFC, and he's on Star Trek now randomly.
Nice.
He got casted.
Uh-huh.
We just did it. We wanted to see if we could actually draw an audience to the metaverse, and we ran a test show there and had some of our members log on, wanted to see how people could interact with avatars. And he just roasted people for about an hour straight. And they had fun, but what was unique about it was they had an experience. They were all sitting at home on their couch with their VR headsets or on their laptops if they wanted to log on that way. But if you asked them, did you watch a show or did you go to a show? They felt more like they went to a show than they watched a show. And that's a big thing that's happening with the metaverse. That's a big step that you guys have had since you've gone to go with web streaming and
Sure.
with the chats going live.
And they can participate.
They're participating right
Yeah,
now.
they're
typing to you.
Yeah.
Well, the Oculus.
You don't want to see what they're saying.
I know.
No, I understand like the psychology behind putting on the VR headset.
It's more of an experience.
It is like when I'm standing in the lobby and I
Yeah.
have the VR headset and you're in, and you take it off, it does feel like, whoa, like now I'm back to reality as opposed to I was somewhere else. Like it does trick your brain. Like I totally get that. I'm just curious of like when you're creating this community, like do people go if there's not a show going on? Do people just visit it because there's multiple houses? Are there other things to do? Is there like always a reason to
they
go?
They could do anything. Like we have like battle royale arenas, so they can do like player versus player games and like shoot each other. They can go around, drive cars. Like think of like going into like Grand Theft Auto and like going around shooting people, doing stuff, playing games.
And then you have your house
you
there.
Could go to you could go to the mall. You could shop there in the meta malls and buy NFTs and skins and all that
Can somebody
stuff.
break into my house?
Ooh, great question.
If you gave them your password.
Okay.
Oh,
could they be standing outside my digital daughter's bedroom window, like peeking in, and then I sneak out the back with a lead pipe and I beat their skull flat?
Oh, that's like
We'll
hella
hook
neighbor.
you up with that mod.
I'm just saying, that's what I would do. That's definitely what I would do.
I think it's so hard for people to comprehend because all they can
is.
relate it to is reality, right? So then, like, when you're thinking a digital community, it's just like, all right, I relate it to our real community. And so then it's like, okay, I'm walking around what looks like my real community.
I'm going to get my ears pierced at Digital Piercing Pagoda in the mall.
yeah.
I think it's cool. I mean, it's definitely better to kill time than what I do now, which is just to flip through news and get scared.
And then so is like, could you essentially buy up a large amounts of digital assets to own a huge portion of this digital community, and therefore your hope is that it accumulates or it goes up in value?
Yeah, you can do that to make a lot of money, and also like you could be like a traditional landlord. Like if you owned a lot of property or a lot of commercial property, because a lot of these corporate companies, these big corporate companies, are coming into the metaverse because they save so much money by going virtual and moving to these virtual boardrooms instead of these, sky-rise office suites that they have to pay tons for. They're able to cut out that cost. And same for like retail brick and mortar stores, because they're only limited to their geolocation. So people are only going to come so far to shop at your store. But when you have that virtual storefront, now you can take people from everywhere across the entire world. So it's a lot easier, and they're able to make a lot more money. But the thing where people are going to make the most money, we're going to be talking about it next week. We're having an event. They could go to www.wealthsummit.com. Wealthsummit.com. And we're going to be talking about how you can monetize in the metaverse and how you can actually take these concepts that we're talking about, get these NFTs, these digital properties, turn it into boatloads of passive income. Because at the end of the day, that's why I'm there. I'm there to make money. I'm not going to live in a digital world forever, but I like to go in there and play and game around and do things. But for a lot of people, they're there to generate passive income because that's going to give them freedom to do what they want in the real world. So it's merging that digital world with the real world. But mostly people are going there for entertainment and to make money.
I love passive income.
Yeah.
Because
Who
it's
doesn't?
my favorite type of income because
Yeah.
you don't have to do anything.
I like
with
it
Sit
so
on your ass
passive
and
that I
collect.
forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
That's-
finding
Yeah,
$5 in
yeah.
an old suit, and you're like, I haven't worn this since that funeral, and you
It's a little better than that.
There's money in there.
I
Little
hate
better
the
than
type
that.
of
$5.
the type of income you have to work hard for is the worst. Like, what? Oh God!
Yeah.
Like that's too much.
He gets mad about it.
Yeah.
When is Bitcoin going back up? Because my wife is pissed.
Yeah, well, because you probably told her it was a sure thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, that's what Bitcoin Billy told me.
You got to get Kirk back in.
Yeah. And
Kirk
then
Bonacci?
now
Yeah.
it's it took
I
a
think
dump.
Bonacci even bailed on NFTs and Bitcoin.
I think so.
No.
Because we saw him over at Publix.
He got away from
and
us
he
fast,
was
fast.
Mr. Analog. And he's like, no digital here. And he was like, out of there, man.
So just in time,
Tomorrow. It's going up
Is it difficult for you guys when you're like, I think we're all about this relatively the same age. I'm probably old dude here. Is it
Yeah, pretty
hard
close.
for you guys to like, because I always, when I look at all of this, like when you were talking about like digital boardroom, right?
Yeah.
It would be extremely difficult for, now my mom and dad are dead, but my dad's been dead for a long time. It would be damn near impossible for me to, and he was a like an over the road salesperson, very high in his company and a very respected salesperson. If I told him he had to put on the goggles and go to the digital boardroom for the meeting, there's no way it would happen, right? And I'm trying to be very serious about it. Not even funny. Yeah, it's too old. Is there a sweet spot of age for you guys? Or are you finding that old people are even like, well, this is probably what I'm going to have to do if things are changing. I'm going to have to start to
some
understand
old people,
this stuff.
but it's like a natural, as time goes. If you look at the young kids, they live in VR. All these kids, they're just on it constantly. So over time, it'll be like that. But I'm assuming for old people, they're not going to adopt really. But there's still some people. I mean, we have 80-year-olds in the metaverse.
I'll take the over because everyone think about the first iPhone compared to today's iPhone.
Yeah.
How quickly that happened, how fast that snuck up.
Right.
It's amazing. The moment YouPorn was on iPhones, everybody seemed to magically have one.
Right, that's true. That's true. Right in your pocket.
That's how they built the adoption.
Everybody wants to say he's wrong, but he's right. I mean, he is.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel bad.
So you have the metaverse, which right now is full of a bunch of programmers, nerds with a lot of extra income and from their mom's basements who were early adopters of technology. It's only a matter of time till a entrepreneurial entertainment segment figures out there's a lot of guys that are going to be really easy for us to fleece, even easier than our OnlyFans accounts used to be. I'm betting on the adoption coming. Give it one more Christmas. It's on.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like nerds like working in their computers in their mom's basement has been a stereotype for a long time.
And it's not going to change.
But hold on, because think about now everything's off your iPhone or your laptop.
So your basement's anywhere.
Well, yeah, you don't need to have like some place where you have towers and computer. I guess maybe with more computing power, you still need the towers. Is that how it works?
If you're like mining it, I know you do. I know you need some pretty sophisticated, or at least
serious server.
Yeah, you need some serious server space for stuff like that. Even for what we do, like our servers aren't here. Our servers are in Georgia. Which kind of instrumental when we were possibly being sued because I'm like, not out of Orlando, we're out of Atlanta. It's just better to be able to say those sort of things. So it's all super duper interesting. Yeah, I always, you guys are the closest I've come to having somebody sit and calmly explain it to me where I'm like, okay, I can see how people could make money on this. I may not be all in on it yet, but at least I understand the attraction. I get it.
Yeah. I don't. I just don't understand.
Well, anything where people want to make money is what I'm saying. Like, if there's a way to make money here, then people are going to be there.
Yeah. My whole thing is, and I, I get the escape part of it, and totally believe in the psychology of human beings wanting to escape. Like we're all here to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I buy in on that, and I believe 100% that we're going to be closer to a VR virtual world in 20 years than not. It's like this technology is just going to get more and more ingrained into our society, and more people are going to use it as an escape and live a more digital life. That makes sense to me. It's just where it all fleshes out. But this is the beginning of it. Like, obviously, there are people that have bought in and people are buying NFT properties and digital assets and stuff that
it's a lot of gamers and crypto nerds. Like, to you, if you may not game a lot, but these kids that spend 20 hours a day gaming, those are all the people that are going to be in there. So even if you're not in there and you're not, I'm not going to go live this digital life, you can be an investor in it and you don't have to participate in it. But it's like knowing all these kids, all these gamers are going to go and they're going to, it's going to be a huge exodus into there.
Well, Mike and Kenny, plug the website one more time,
please.
Yeah. www.wealthsummit.com. We have an event all next weekend. We're going to be talking about crypto, NFTs, the metaverse, how to make money in real estate, logistics, trucking, e-com, everything. We got Marcus Lemonis, Damon John, Elena Cardone, Roland Frazier, and Kevin Harrington. So we got a couple of sharks.
Yeah.
Got the CEO of Camping World, a couple $1 billion speakers. It's going to be a blast. And if you guys want to get your ticket for cheap, I'm going to drop a discount code for you, courtesy of the Tom and Dan Show. So you can use 50GA as your promo code. That's going to get you 50% off. All we have is general admission left, so it's going to be $125. Come learn how to make money in the metaverse.
There you go.
I want to talk to the CEO of Camping World and ask him, Mike, do you think the stadium sponsorship was a good
successful.
thing? Like,
ask
how
him.
do
You
you
know what he
track
He's
that?
like, it is. I love the Citrus Bowl. That's what he'll say.
How much, like, because that's
Even he calls it
million-
the Citrus Bowl, I bet.
millions of dollars a year, right?
Yeah.
So, like, how?
By
can-
the way, I can't
can
think
you
of a more
translate-
horrible world than Camping World. No, that's a joke. It's a joke because camping sucks. It's a joke. It's a joke. Don't.
Can you quantify this at all? Is there like any way to be like,
UCF, they just got a big sponsorship for their stadium, right?
FBC.
Yeah, and they make me so sad. UCF. I was gonna save this for Friday, but they did it. They flew a drone over the stadium, and we're both graduates from UCF, so I feel like I'm qualified to be able to say this to UCF. There's nothing more embarrassing than when you do a drone shot of the stadium and then painted on the top it says the national championship 2017 national championship, like we're the winners. We're not.
Yes, we are.
No, that's
they
not
painted it on the stadium.
It's
we
on
don't-
there.
We don't follow facts in Florida. You need to get your mind
Well,
right.
that's
I think
are
the
the
NCAA actually acknowledges it, but like, wasn't it Clemson? It's Clemson, right?
It wasn't UCF.
It wasn't UCF.
Right. So why did we paint it there? Doesn't that make us look like doofuses?
Yes.
I don't want that on my stadium. And I want to support them as a football team, but I don't know if I can go to the bounce house and look up and then they painted a giant false truth.
Everybody's trolling.
I believe.
It's like, so you just you put it there.
We believe.
I mean,
and
but
you're
it's,
like, look at
isn't
this.
it just a constant reminder of how rinky-dink we are?
There's got to be some marketing reason where like people really grabbed a hold of this, and then like our fans.
I think it
wanna
looks
do
stupid.
We beat Bama. That's all that matters. We won.
Well, Kenny, Mike, thanks so
Yeah,
much for
thank
coming
you
in. I
guys so much
appreciate
for
it.
the
for having
time,
us.
guys.
Guys, thank you.
We'll be right back with more corporate time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. I'm little Blanco, tiny Blanco.
I was explaining to my sons yesterday after their swim practice about addiction and
Why on earth?
He does this. He chooses really difficult things to talk to them
War,
about it.
addiction, what sexy means.
Yeah. Weren't you explaining time travel one time after
Oh
swim
my
class?
God.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
multiverse.
Is it because you feel the need? It's because you've been sitting quietly at swim practice the whole time, and you can't stand
And
it.
you're high.
So you have to like go into talk mode.
well, if they're anytime they start paying attention to anything I say, I take advantage of that. And
That's
Almost
smart.
like you're addicted to talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he
exactly.
loves them. It's the only thing he loves.
And then I was explaining like
How did it come up?
well
Daddy's addicted to alcohol.
Daddy, what's addiction?
I started explaining to them about why they only get an hour a day, on their screens and stuff
Okay.
like that, and like
That's good.
and
That's good.
and playing video games and stuff. And they explain like people get addicted to certain things, and like they know about smoking, and they always they ask about smoking cigarettes because my mom smokes, and they see my mom smoke,
Yeah.
and then they're like, why does she smoke? It's bad for you.
bad.
And I'm like, she's addicted to the nicotine. It's
Yeah.
a drug that's in the cigarette.
Tell him try it. It's great.
And then I'm telling them like there's lots of addictive things out there that once you start taking, your brain wants more of it, and then you can't stop. And it's hard.
addicted to touching your ding dong.
And you'll get sick if you don't take it, or your body will need it. And I'm like, your brain will get addicted to screens too, and like and looking. And then I was explaining.
Did they seem concerned at all while you're telling them that they could be
No,
possibly
they're half
addicted to their
listening.
screens?
Yeah. They don't get. They
Is
want
Crystal
they
around?
want the screen so bad. No.
So she's not around to monitor the things that you're injecting into their brains.
No.
Sometimes Andrea will catch me saying something amazing, and then the look I get is that, what are you doing?
Well, this is true. I feel like it's a valuable lesson
I do.
for them to
I agree with you.
understand addiction before, just so they know
Yeah.
that, like, hey, no one explained it to me when I was a kid, like, hey, if you take too much of this or whatever, you can get addicted to it. And that's
Sadly,
bad,
my mom did explain that to me because of my aunt.
Yeah, no one, I had no idea about addiction until I was addicted.
You probably didn't have a visible addict living near or with you. We had an alcoholic. So I don't know when I got it. Not as young as you're doing it, but I do think it's a valuable lesson. I think it's good that you're talking to him about that.
But I was explaining about, being addicted to video games. I'm like, you can get addicted to them.
Absolutely.
And then, so when we were talking about like the people that play video games for 20 hours a day, I'm like, well, that's a problem, right? Well, that's an addiction.
It's your job.
Yeah. But
if you're a streamer.
Yeah, there are streamers that do it consistently, and it's just what they do.
Yeah, but if I worked 20 hours a day, people would be like, you have a problem. Like, you're addicted to work.
Some would say that you do, Tom.
No.
You are a workaholic.
Well, I don't follow my own advice at all.
Fair.
But I don't work 20 hours a day. You know what I'm saying?
No, you take breaks.
And if I did, it would be a problem. Like, if you do anything,
too much of anything that affects you could be negative.
Yeah. And also, like, why are you playing 20 hours a day? Are you doing it for a purpose, or you have to do it? Does your brain want it? Because that tells me it's an addiction, right?
Yeah, well, there's also
Like,
a threshold.
what's the motive?
There's also a threshold of whatever you're doing, these things that you're doing, whether it's drinking, whether it's playing video games, taking drugs, whatever, where it releases the chemicals into your brain, right? So then your body and your mind will just continue. You'll be continuing to chase those. And then the amounts that you need will increase and increase until the point where you get to a thing called, I think it's called the heptonic threshold, where it has to do with hedonism, the pleasure. It has to do with the fact that you just can't reach it anymore. You know, like, well, what?
Yeah.
You know, it's impossible. Then when you start to pull back from whatever you're addicted to, you end up not being able to feel joy in anything because you've kind of screwed up your meter. You know, like you've broken your barometer. Yeah. I did it to myself with alcohol. You know, like to a point where you pull back at things that should normally give you that jolt, that serotonin, things that should normally register as pleasure, just don't, because you screwed yourself up.
So, anyway,
what did they say? I'm interested to see. Like,
they don't. I mean, I think it goes over their head.
Well, but they might think about it when they're sitting there playing video games. You'd be surprised. You may have gotten to them. Don't be surprised if someone like Tommy. I could totally see him. Coming out one day where, you give him his hour of video games or whatever, and then he comes out like after 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm done. I just heard about what you were saying.
You should troll him and be like, hey, you don't want to be an addict, do you?
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? To be like, hey, you don't want to get addicted to that. Mind yourself. It's not a bad thing to be like, hey, be cautious.
Well, because they want to play all the time. They want to, go on their phones and text, and, they want the screens. And I was like, I was just explaining that your brain wants it. And just realize why that's the case, right? Is your brain want it because it's a good activity? Is your brain want it because you had a bunch of it and you need more? Is it like, why do you want it? Do you because there's healthy and unhealthy reasons to want something.
Yeah.
And if your brain has become addicted to this, then it can end up screwing you up.
I think that's a good conversation to have. I should probably have some of the same thing with Maisie.
If you are doing 8 hours, even 5 hours of something every day, it's way too much.
I'm an adult and I've done that. Like over COVID, over the holidays when we all got COVID, I played like 5 hours of like what's that game? Horizon, the car driving game on Xbox. Forza Horizon. I played like 5 hours in the day. I felt like somebody had killed me. Like I was like out of it. I was hungover. Yeah, I was like hungover and then just like weird feeling and like tired, but I hadn't done anything. So I was like, I had a lot of energy, but I was also tired at the same time. It didn't really make any sense.
There's got to be, we didn't evolve to get this much stimulation. We spent hundreds of thousands of years just looking at trees outside and like maybe interacting with our village or whatever it is, but like hunting and gathering or whatever else.
I haven't done either of those things in years.
We weren't looking at some stimulating screen like stuff just fast going through the cycle of
serious
30-second entertainment.
Serious question for both of you. When is the last time, without sleeping or closing your eyes, that you've laid on your back, looked at the ceiling, and stayed that way for like at least 20 minutes?
Yeah, I don't do any of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you try it, I think, I could be wrong, but I'd be interested to see. You just set a timer, just lay on your back.
So boring.
It's not. I actually enjoy. It's almost like the.
Then I'm just sitting with my thoughts.
It's like the pure. No, it's not even like there's any thoughts going on. It's just the pure idea of not having a screen is pleasing to me. Like I find a lot of enjoyment out of just sitting there and just kind of being there.
It's a form of meditation.
It is.
Yeah, that is proven by science to be good for your brain.
Definitely.
I just can't. I can't get into it. Like I totally into like
You kind of do a
exercise,
variation.
eating right.
No, you do a variation. You on your boat, driving down a waterway, 20 minutes, just you and the wind. You could do that. That's meditation. That's a form of meditation.
yeah,
I'm
but
doing
you
that
have
once a
music
month.
on and stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's like some type of entertainment.
Radio's broken.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, but there's too much stimulate. Like just being, I've never gotten into, which I should because it's a 100% a positive thing. But like,
If you could meditate, it'd be a game changer for you.
helping my brain, and meditation and the discipline.
We should do mandatory morning meditation here.
I
can't
said
do it
this
here.
for years, and he don't want to do
what
it.
if we do it in a
He
separate room?
cares
No.
too much about what people think of
God.
him.
When I'm here at
Get
work,
over it,
I just
Tom.
want to work. Like I have to set.
But what if
I have
that is
to wake
work?
up at 5?
What if that
and-
is work? I mean, that's all part of work. That's
Yeah,
like
but-
getting your mind, like the warm up that we do in here in order to articulate our thoughts and and be able to access verbs and adjectives. I mean, that's all work.
Yeah.
But like Brady, when he goes to the stadium and he's doing his, he starts out by doing some gentle stretching. That is work.
Yeah, but I need to make us money, sales.
Yeah, but you'll be in a better place for making us money in sales if you're in a better place.
That's where I can't get beyond because I've never seen the downfall of how I'm operating now mentally affect me. You see what I'm saying? Like
The chat is saying to live stream on Twitch the morning meditation, and then you can monetize it.
it's not. No one wants to watch that.
Sounds like they do.
No, but
No, they're
you're
lying.
answering for them, and that's the thing that you and I hate is that you're always trying to stay 2 and 3 steps ahead of everyone. So rather than just doing it and seeing if you could monetize it, you like to look at it because no one's going to know what's best for this company than you, and that I would agree with. But then you like to go, no, not worth it. Which, yeah, I mean, I guess if anybody's going to automatically answer the question, it's certainly not worth it if you already know the answer.
Well, it's hard to imagine anybody wants to just sit and watch us be quiet and then.
People are into weird stuff, man.
No,
I didn't
but
think
our
anybody
listeners-
want to subscribe to a lady that smashes their face into bread.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
our listeners watch us talk every day, not just sit there and be quiet.
I think
Why would they want that?
they would probably do it if it was a 5-minute meditation and they knew that they could do it with us every morning. They probably would opt in. I think they probably would.
Nah.
Okay. See, if you're going to answer every question, then
I know what they want.
But if the answer to every question is you know what they want, then why do we even ask questions? Because you have it all figured out.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I know what they want.
There you go.
All right, bye-bye.
He knows what you want. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Let's do some emails.
Yes.
What do we got here?
All right, Surfshark. What? Surfshark is contacting Tom and he has no idea what it is? They are an up-and-coming hop on that train. They sponsor a lot of YouTubers. Kara and Nate, who are a married couple who travel the world, is one example. They have millions of followers. I have a VPN. It scrambles your personal info so your phone doesn't get hacked. I'm a day trader and at times have my account open on my phone. Anyway, have Tom get his S together if they want T&D. Think of all the personal stuff you do through your phone. More people I know use a VPN than don't. No response necessary, just a heads up that people do use VPNs. I sent this to you since Tom never reads anything, and we know it's you that keeps this boat floating.
That's not true. Tom reads everything. He just doesn't reply to everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't have time to reply to everything because he needs to make money.
I'll read. If you ask me a question, I'll reply. But if you just tell me something, I often don't feel the need to reply because you're like, you didn't ask me a question, you're just telling me something.
Right.
So,
It's just different styles of communication. It's not meant to be cold. It's not meant to be like he doesn't read it. It's not meant to mean that whatever you wrote is not good. It's
important,
just
yeah.
Tom isn't going to give you an emoji.
He just takes the knowledge and moves on.
Yeah.
I'll reply to every listener email. Tom Van guarantee. from now. I don't get that
Okay.
many. I'll get one a week. No one emails me. No one emails me about anything. Like I
Why
just
do you
did a
always
bunch.
say you're checking emails in the morning?
Well, some
You know what
clients.
that means.
I guess. I mean about like the show related stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I understand what
So Surfshark, I did reply, and the guy just asked for our numbers and how much our advertising was.
Not big enough. Later.
I gave it to him and then never heard back.
No.
But also most of these companies, I assume they want to advertise through some sort of a CPM model where it's like we'll only pay you per 1,000 download, and we don't do much of that because we honestly make more money from local advertisers than that model because that model could only give us a small or less than we normally charge for advertising.
Our advertising is from concentrate, and what I mean by that is in doses, what we do can do more for your company than most, but our sample size is smaller.
Yeah, and
It's more concentrated.
And it's like, okay, so besides from Daniel using some sort of VPN technology, like to scramble his IP address.
This guy said more friends than not on my end, and I have a techie
I don't
group.
know because I've never asked. I don't ask people if they use
I mean,
VPNs.
I've got a pretty techie group of people that I don't have a lot of friends. I'm just a weirdo that way. But the people that I know, and you know many of them, none of them. I'm the only one I know.
Yeah. Like,
That's an honest answer. I don't know anybody else that uses VPN. They might like do it on the side or whatever, but
again, I don't have that many tech savvy friends, and I feel like the majority of the world is not on the tech savvy side or the early adopter side or like into scrambling their VPN or changing it in some way.
I
What I'm
agree.
saying? Most of my friends just like they have regular jobs. They go to work. They're a Harley mechanic. They're like working construction. They're elevator mechanic. They general manager for a wing
Like, I
restaurant.
think I
It's
feel,
like
Sam,
none of them use VPN anything.
this will help you out. I can list some because we usually deal in terms of like either my crazy friends, Andrea friends, Crystal, Tom, Miami, Fernando, Pudge, the Wizard, and Turkey Leg. All four of those people, I do not believe use a VPN.
No,
Is that
no,
accurate?
yeah.
And
None of
that's
their
just
wives-
four right off the top.
Like no, a lot of people do. I just don't know if it would be advantageous for Surfshark. Like how much business will they get? Now that's another problem. Maybe they don't care about that. We are just always operate like how many actual customers can we bring you? And then I look at our audience and I'm like, is they into this? Like they're into beer. Medical marijuana,
yeah.
Well,
like,
here
they need AC work. They need a roof.
What you mean is-
flooring, like all that stuff works great. It's like
Yeah.
the VPN, the Metaverse, all this stuff. I'm like, there is a portion I see.
Yeah,
like
we'll try.
the guys that are into it are super into it. Like we get the emails like, oh, I'm glad you guys got into Oculus and like VR because
I
like,
live my life in there. I'll never change it. And we're okay. You're one of one.
And I love the fact that they have, and I've seen the numbers. Like we have a virtual reality guy, and
He's in there right now.
yeah, he has
should call
an
in.
unbelievable audience that visits his like worlds that he built every day.
Yeah.
Like numbers bigger than our listener base, right?
Yeah.
Way bigger. But I don't know. And he was like, he was like, how do I monetize this? And I'm like, well, it's uncharted territory. So I don't know. Like you just have to try.
We're
and see
still
if something
figuring out
works.
podcasts, and that's old stuff now.
Yeah. And then like most of the people like revert back to old marketing where it's just like, get your brand in front of the most amount of eyes. But those are bigger brands. Like the smaller companies want actual results. I don't
VPN,
know.
I'll tell you why I used it, primarily. When I was doing a lot more torrenting, when this company didn't have a pot to piss in, and we were needing certain things, you can, and other people can, get music and software and movies illegally through torrent sites. And the way that you do that is to hide your VPN. I'm just giving you the honest answer, and that's what you would do. And so normally, people that I knew, if you were using a VPN, it was because you were trading music, you were doing something that was considered a little less than savory. I'm just being honest.
Now, here's where I would use it, but I don't think we're there yet. And I don't know if you could do this inside the United States, but I'd use it to be able to like use a VPN for like, let's say in New Jersey, the state or a state that has DraftKings and FanDuel.
I used to do this for the EPL so I could watch every single game.
Yeah, well now that works for country to country, but it
I
doesn't
think my
work
husband
internally.
uses it for sports and stuff.
Yeah, and
You can use it to watch. I think he's right. I don't know if it works for currency link sites. I don't know.
Well, and you can do like that's a different country. So like obviously you could watch sports in Europe or like have a Europe VPN or IP address, and then now you have access to all this new stuff. But I'm saying within the actual state inside the United States, I don't think you can have a Nevada VPN, so I can go on to Caesar's Palace Sportsbook. And now
It's interesting.
they probably wouldn't pay out if I won anything big, but I would just like to have the option to mess around with these different sports books. I'm not looking to bet huge amounts of money. I just want them. I just want access to them.
Right.
So that would be cool. I'd use it for that. But any other, like, I can't. You know, I know that even Surfshark told me that people use it to watch, to open up different shows and Netflix and things like that because they.
I used to be really into that. I would have it, and then like there were certain like if Andrea wanted to watch The Office BBC edition, we'd VPN in and we'd like go into the BBC webpage, and then we'd find what we wanted to watch and watch it. They thinks we're in Stoke-on-Trent or wherever, and we're watching from England.
And the NFL, like if you're a Europe IP address, you can get a lot of access to NFL games.
NFL game.
So
I used to VPN into London, Sam, so I could watch every NFL game because they would block you out. But if you live in London, like my buddy Tony that lives in London, like he has more access to NFL games than I do.
So that is an advantage that I could see. Like if Surfshark is like, hey, get this, then you can get a VPN Europe address and then watch every NFL game. Like then I think
that's pretty cool.
We can market that to our listeners. Although it seems like the NFL would try to crack down on them. You know what I'm saying? Eventually they may find a workaround where you can't do that because now you're stealing their content that they want to sell to you for in an NFL package.
They want you to buy the package.
Yeah, that's just $500 or what or $100 if you're a college student or have a college name and address name and birthday. That's all you need.
Oh, that's so great.
$100. All right, next email.
Navy dive tables.
Yes.
Tell Tom to stop. He keeps bringing up Navy dive tables as an example of a system with a built-in margin of error.
We say it's conservative. That's why we use Navy dive tables.
Nothing can be further from the truth. The Navy dive tables were built by volunteer divers. They pushed the divers to the limit, then they backed off after the divers got bent. The divers were all young, fit males who also happened to be white. Not sure if being white affected the tables, but that's just the facts. The Navy dive tables state that if you are young, fit, and male, and white, you are safe to dive at this depth for this amount of time. They're not meant to say a certain dive is safe for everyone.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I need to know what your qualifications are in saying this because you sound just like us.
Daniel's, and we've been making jokes because if they say, like, don't go past 100 feet or whatever.
It's usually like 120.
You can get to like 110. Ain't gonna, like, it's not like 1 inch past 100 dead.
It's like when your car says, I got 30 miles left. You probably got close to 50 miles left.
Yes, exactly. They build in these like buffers.
Like safety nets.
For the general public. They've always done that. That's what we're saying.
If the library says you got 2 weeks for the book and then you got to turn it in, 16 days, you're fine.
Yeah. And then, like, I feel like doctors do this the opposite route, where they tell you only have 3 months to live, and then everybody always lives longer.
Yeah, because they want to be a hero.
yeah. I feel like they do the opposite.
Complex.
So if a doctor tells you 3 months to live, you probably have like 8 months.
Yeah. Joke's on the doctor, though. He's like, what do you weigh? And I go, I weigh 120. And he's like, it really weighs 160.
Like, I rarely hear the people die before the doctor, like 3 months, and he's like, you live 2 weeks? Like,
you never hear that.
It's always like, he made it 5 months, and they're like, oh, it's pretty good.
Even if that happened, I'd make my nurse go in and like, just change his chart. He's dead now. Change his chart to 2 weeks.
What's next email?
Getting previous owner's mail. At what point?
Open it.
At what point do you stop giving mail to the previous owner of a house? They are good friends with my neighbors, so I would bring it over for the first 2 years.
2 years? No, 6 months. And then I'm reading it. I'm taking the checks out.
It only went that far because I thought after the first year, they would see it as a good deed. And since the wife is a general manager at the local Olive Garden,
Oh, there you go.
I would get a thank you gift card.
Ooh.
But now we
How
are
much?
5 years in, and yesterday I got an order of personal checks. A month ago, I got a letter from Darden and an early in the year tax information. Multiple times I wrote on the letter, does not live here, and put it back in the mailbox, but they still keep coming. Is trashing the mail a bad thing?
I wouldn't trash it, but
Well, trash the garbage. Like no reason to bring over
Junk mail.
Yeah, junk mail and stuff that's obvious, like magazines.
like Hungry Howie's coupons.
Yeah. And most mail is junk mail or advertising and stuff, so you could trash that. But if something in the IRS or like a personal letter, like
We have a lot of realtors around here, and I just like to speak for myself when I say, stop with the postcards. Just stop it.
It's the only way that they
Stop.
know how to market, except
You
for
just
like
gotta
Bart
stop.
Merrick,
No,
who
stop.
jumped on with us early.
stop.
But most realtors have no other way to market, so it's all
give up.
mailing campaigns
Just give
and
up.
stuff like that.
It's over.
It's quite.
The jig is up.
I want to scream about marketing so bad.
No,
I
don't
know you
scream.
do.
We know. You've been marketing mornings. We've
Oh.
been seeing it. Next email.
App stuff. As if you want to scream about anything, let's talk about
App
the app.
stuff, like butt stuff.
No, like our phone app. Hey, listening to the BDM show, and some dude called in with the app not playing shows to the end. I've had that issue also where it will just stop mid-show. Here's a super easy fix. If you just hit the back button only once and then hit whatever show you were on, it will immediately resume playing from where it stopped. Through my experience,
Secret feature we added.
it's a hack. Through my experience, the issue is caused when you download a show and immediately play it through the app. It seems to only have time to download or buffer a portion of the show. So when you start playing it, the app will only play up to that point. Then your phone still finishes the download meanwhile. So when you go back out and hit the show again, it plays the full show. I believe this is due to a slow or spotty internet or data connection. I don't have any issues if I wait a few seconds between downloading and playing. Also, I have no issues when I'm on 5G, only when it's not 5G or on spotty Wi-Fi.
Yeah. You know what? I can back up this guy's.
He has an Android, it seems.
I can back up what he's saying about the consistency being better on the 5G than it can be on spotty Wi-Fi, 100%.
So basically, they're hitting the show and then hitting play, and then the show only had
A little bit of time to buffer the beginning of it, so it gets to
Yeah.
a certain point that it's already preloaded, and then it just stops. He's saying if you hit the button, then you hit back, and then immediately hit the show that you were currently listening to, that you're giving it enough time to buffer, hence the reason it'll play all the way through. It makes sense what he's saying. It makes sense.
It's, the app has been a difficult thing for us
It's hard.
because we're a small company and we're trying to, with constant updates and new phones and stuff, it constantly gets broke and then we only have there's so much money to put into it. And some people want to charge $10,000 and
Yeah.
some people want to
More
charge
than that, some.
free. It's all over. There's no consistency with any of it.
There's really no middle of the road. I mean, you're right on that. You either find the guy that can do, like, God bless him. We've got a couple people that have said to me, like, hey, in the afternoons I can work on this. At night it'd probably take me 6 years to get it done, but I can do it, and then I'll do it for free. And then I've had some people, like you're saying, like, hey, that'll be $25,000 and we can get it taken care of in 2 weeks. It's like, well, we don't have that kind of money, so.
That is the most frustrating part for me because I don't understand like computer programming or software programming or app building, right? I kind of understand it, but I have no idea. Like when someone's like, I only have the time to work on this for this, and it's going to take me this amount of time. I don't even, I imagine that they're on a computer typing, but I don't know what is involved with the work. Is it like code? Is it?
I would assume it's mostly code.
So then they're.
I still don't know what that means. Are they
Yeah,
going like
yeah.
0 0 0 1 1
they-
0 0
they have
1
to
1
look-
0 0?
It's
They-
not all ones and zeros.
But they have to-
Watch Mr. Robot.
They have to look up the code to be able to copy it into. You know what I'm saying, right? That's the problem. Like when someone says, "I'm going to redo
Get Gorilla Blanco in here. I think he knows.
No.
Yeah, I think he knows too.
Hey, you don't know.
I always trust a man with a
Fanny pack.
a fanny pack.
Oh, and the mullet.
and the
So
mullet.
good.
Like,
It's really good.
if someone's redoing my kitchen, right? I can understand what they're doing, right? Like they're pulling
You know the
out all the
process,
cabinets.
yes.
They're getting new cabinets and boxes. They're putting together the cabinets. Then they're hanging the cabinets and maybe doing some drywall work. Like I can kind of run through it in
I
my
know what a
mind.
level is. I know how saws work.
Yeah.
Hammer,
Like
impact drill.
The actual work itself, I comprehend, right? And that's where I don't with the app programming and stuff. Like, I don't, because no one ever explains it to me. No one ever says, like, well, I have to look up what code will work on the internet and then copy that code and paste it in your code and then
singular.
trial.
They put on their headphones.
I have no idea.
They put on their headphones and they go into Code World and they just go to work. And I don't know what they're doing, but they have headphones on. They're listening to the music or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't
What
know
are they
it.
doing?
They don't know it by heart, or do they know it by heart? Each individual code they understand by, or they have to
I
look
think they
it
have
up.
to build some of their own, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. None of us know
have
technology
to write a
here.
program.
That's what's frustrating to me because I don't understand it. Maybe I should learn
We need to
it.
talk to somebody that's in coding.
I don't. It's hard.
I mean,
it
we
seems
could get one
hard
of
for
these
them
app
to
guys on.
explain.
Explain to us how you can't help us. That's what
Yeah.
we should do.
Yeah. Because I'm like, well, what is it? What is the date? What is the actual work?
You know, you mentioned something that spurred something. I'd like to know what both of you think about this. My wife is teaching herself Spanish using the Duolingo app. Mm-hmm. You've seen that app? You know, it's
Yeah.
the little hoot owl. And then, so she's going through there, and I'm like, well, what languages does it have that you can learn on the Duolingo app? You know, is it just Spanish? She's like, no, they got all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. So I said, well, show me what they got. So she goes to it, and she's just scrolling through all the stuff, and she's like, I'm going to teach myself Japanese. And I'm like, that's going to be terribly hard. They have also, though, they have nonsense languages on there.
Like pig line?
No, I asked about that when you and I are on the same wavelength lately. No, I asked her what other languages, and as she's going down the list, there were two that stuck out. One is Klingon.
Ah, yes.
And the other, which I was like, I didn't know somebody had made this an actual thing, is from like Game of Thrones, is High Valerian. You can learn High Valerian through Duolingo. And I'm like, well, like really learn it? Like people speak this?
a full language.
Who has that much time to waste their life
On
I
a,
don't
on
know.
a fake language.
On a fake language,
like
right.
you have? Isn't there other things that I guess if it brings you joy, then
Oh, I hate that.
then-
I hate that if it brings you joy.
well, I mean,
How does learning High Valerian with no one to talk to bring
You'll
you
find
joy?
other nerds to talk to.
yeah.
That know High
And
Valerian.
then you're in the metaverse and you're talking in your goddamn fake language.
Wait a minute. Now that is okay. I would have asked you. You answered the question without even knowing it. I would have asked you, how is that usable?
You go to MegaCon, you
what
see
can
another person dressed
Well,
up
no.
as Game of Thrones, you
If-
talk to him in the language.
In the metaverse, if you were skinned to look
Yeah.
as if you were like, you know, the giant or something from, you know, Game of Thrones, the Hound. So you're the Hound, and you speak High Valerian or whatever. That okay, that's useful.
You have your own little nerd community.
and
Weird.
learning a language, I think if you don't interact with someone daily speaking it, it's nearly
Yeah,
impossible,
damn near impossible.
to just learn it and not interact and speak it with our brains the way they work. Like I see it with my sons, like they don't learn, never even close to learning
Yeah,
Spanish.
but if you integrate not only just like talking to somebody, but like watching TV shows that are in that
You'd
language,
have- yeah.
listening to music.
You have
that's
to
in
do
you
that
have to
language.
immerse yourself
Yeah.
into that language, and that's even more than just learning it. It's like then you have to interact with someone else who's like speaking Spanish or watch a Spanish show. Some of my friends that they came over here from South America when they were young, like they just were forced to learn it, and they learned it fast, like English, just by watching English TV shows.
Yeah.
Tony Rage.
My buddy Enrique learned English through the TV show Martin.
I love it.
That's how
a
he
good one.
learned
It's a great
English.
show.
That's a good show to learn from.
And being forced because he like had to communicate in the United States when he came from Brazil. So he watched Martin and then just lived his life, and then you learn it fast, like because you're forced to do it. But without that, it's
awesome.
super hard.
Yeah.
Like just like studying it and then practicing it yourself without interacting with people, or like I've never even heard anybody doing that. You know?
I don't think it's possible unless you're actually like using it with other people. We got to take a break.
Bye-bye. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
Yep, Dan.
Sam's here. How you doing, Sam?
Hi, I'm okay.
So,
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. I'm okay.
When people say, I don't like it when people
I didn't
say
say
that.
I'm not okay. Like
That's
my
true.
Romance.
just say good.
Yeah.
Because it's awkward if you
Okay.
say
Say
okay.
very
I will.
good.
I'm
Say
doing
just
very
lying.
good.
Yes, give us a long, very good, and then I'll know.
Because when someone asks how you doing, no one ever really wants to know. It's just I'm going to attempt to say this, colloquialism.
You should have just said a nicety or.
Colloquy. I don't know if I can say it after he said it.
And-
Colloquialism?
Don't even know that's right.
Colloquialism.
Think it's wrong. Anyway,
Dialect.
I don't really care how you're doing.
Vernacular.
I just say, how you doing?
I say
As a
not
greeting.
bad. I always say not bad. The lady at Publix asked me, she's like, how you doing? I go, not bad. Not bad at all.
That's fine. Not bad is fine.
Yeah.
Great is the standard. Or doing good.
When Sam says, okay, see, I'm a chirper. And when you say, I'm okay, that makes me want to go. Because you do
It opens it up.
You don't go like, I'm okay. Because that'd be going up. You
Wow,
go down.
you're reading way too much into
go-
it.
You're
well-
vague responding.
Well, I've been hanging out
like
with Tom.
Vague posting on Facebook.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with Tom, and Tom and I overthink things, and you're like, I'm okay. And that, when you go, I'm okay, it makes a chirper want to go, what's wrong? See, I go back up. I'm like, what's
you guys
wrong?
are crazy.
What's wrong? We are crazy.
I'm not crazy at all. I'm the least
I beg
crazy.
to differ, sir.
It's because I'm the least crazy, which makes everybody think I'm crazy.
But everybody knows from watching television and entertainment that the person in the movie or TV show that's telling you they're not crazy is the craziest one. Mm-hmm. That's why I just let it sit.
That's
when
just
people
TV
go, you
shows.
crazy? I go, not bad. Not bad at all.
Let's talk roller skating. So Sam,
Yes, finally.
That's what crazy people talk about.
Sam is into roller skating. I see Bustecker. He's out there.
I think
He
she's
bit my
just-
style.
She's just trying to do some bonus content on her OnlyFans.
By the way-
and no, I will not give you a link.
When I see Bustecker out there,
He's good as hell.
Well, I just scream "Get to work" in my head. I'm like,
yeah,
how
Rick
are
Scott, get to work.
how are you just roller skating
Always
around?
skating.
Yeah, dude.
Get to work.
Does the is it Orange County or he works for?
I
Or
believe it is the county, yeah.
Yeah. Does the Orange County Sheriff's Department, do they know
Oh no,
That you-
They have to because he's posting all the time.
they
I
think
love
he
how
does?
he posts the skate in his hand and it's like, I'm skating. What'd you do today? It's like, you don't have to hold up the skate.
Yeah, well, he's an influencer and he likes to. He thinks we're dumb. He
The
has to beat
cops
us over the
bully
head
him,
with it.
right? Because they have to hate that.
They have to bully
They
him,
have
right?
to think he's a nerd. I mean, most cops I know not so much into roller skating around the roller rink.
But you know what they
Or
will do?
fun.
You know what they will do that's
They're like
surprising?
drinking and shooting.
A lot of your cops will like do the troll for skateboarders where they make you think they're gonna come down on you and the long arm of the law is gonna get you. But then they just get on the skateboard, they do a couple
a
tricks, they
kickflip,
shoot
yeah.
a basketball, and hey, takes a village. We're all in this together.
But that's just because they used to do it and then they remember a little bit. But like
Yeah.
they don't go to the skate park on the weekends and
No,
skate around
and rip it up.
Hey, they're just doing it to show off for social media. Anyway, back to roller skating. So it seems to be a trendy like hobby thing to do.
It's back.
It's back.
People started really getting back into it when everything shut down, right? 'Cause
Yes,
you just
yeah.
get a pair of skates. You can go out to the rink. You can go. Well, you don't even have to go to the rink. You can just go to an outside skate park.
Yeah.
You can go down your street, your sidewalk.
we have a chung that likes to skate around the
All
lake.
big chungus.
Yeah, and I see him all the time, and he's getting smaller. You can
There you
see
go.
that he's been
It's good
using
cardio.
Yeah, he's been using it for exercise, and this guy's actually losing pounds, man. He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
He's had to have like just eyeballing it. He's lost like 30 pounds.
Now, I would tell him, you know what's harder and more effective? Taking the wheels off your feet.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, if he's running,
well,
it's better for him.
yeah.
Yeah. If he really just wants to lose weight, but the
I
fun
think
factor might.
moving more efficiently or
Yeah.
with wheels is easier than walking. you
Yeah,
know?
but he
Well-
can't make it very far if he's running. If
Why
he's
don't
on
you
the
come to the
skates.
rink with me, buddy, and we'll find out.
That sounds like a challenge.
Well, I'm just saying it would take more energy walking around the roller rink 30 times than skating because there's a lot of just gliding.
Yeah.
Right. You use your
You're
energy
cheating
to
no, you
glide.
gotta
Gliding.
be going all the time.
You don't use your core as much though when you're running. I feel like roller skating, you're using that core.
You're using a lot, yeah.
But you cover more distance.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Roller skating, it's easier to
Easier-
cover more distance than walking.
if you know how to do it.
Calorie wise.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just
Just like biking is
still
easier
That's
than
what calories has to do with distance.
Well, but he's talking about the guy losing weight.
right.
It's what he's trying to get to this guy expelling energy. He's just basically telling the guy.
But
like-
roller skating's more cardio than walking.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Well, it would be harder and more calories burned walking a mile than roller skating a mile.
Yes.
I disagree.
I would agree with
Really?
that. What he's saying, just based on
I'm just going off of
just
logic.
distance alone, like if you're expelling energy, you're gliding a little bit when you're skating. So 1 mile to 1 mile, it might even be even.
Yeah.
you
Now
know?
an hour of roller skating, an
It's
hour
harder-
of walking
right.
is yeah.
Right.
Now I do say you would be better exercising if it's just time.
He likes to get
I'm
you in the
saying
distance.
distance.
He likes to get you in the details.
And I'm not
Don't
even-
read the fine print. Just go with the main idea.
Yeah. It's so back to roller skating. So
We've been on roller skating. We never left.
Casey, that's the name of the show. It's called Back to Roller Skating.
So because
Marty, we're going back.
I totally get it. I understand, even though I don't understand fun for myself. I see how this could be fun.
Yes.
and I see, and my kids enjoy it, and I see adults enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
I see a lot of dudes on rollerblades.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about gay dudes. I'm talking all dudes.
Yeah.
All dudes.
My husband's on them.
Well, I mean,
He's got both, quads
he's-
and
He's
blades.
one of hundreds around Lake Baldwin.
Now, let's take off doing this outside or around a lake or all this.
Okay, where are you
in,
taking
in a
us?
park? I'm saying inside a traditional roller
Skating
rink.
rink. Yes.
Skating rink.
Yeah.
Roller rink or skating rink? It's skating rink, right?
Either or.
Yeah, I guess. But it's weird because it seems like the roller rink or skating rink hasn't evolved over
It has not.
40 years.
No, it's the same old thing. And you go there for the same
Nothing's
reason.
changed.
Nothing's
If your
changed.
fingers stink.
Same carpet.
If your fingers stink, you've been to the rink. That's what we used to
Glow
say.
in the dark.
Isn't that odd? Because I started trying to think of an example.
I brought this up.
Are the walls still carpeted?
Yes.
Because
yes, they
that's for
are.
you to run into.
The same,
Well, yeah.
And you tuck in some of those carpeted benches, and that's when you blast.
Yeah.
like the whole business model's just nothing's changed.
Popcorn,
It's
hot dog, potato
It's
skates.
old school.
frozen in time.
Yeah, the DJ booth, the big fuzzy dice that you roll.
Yeah, the same
You play four
games-
corners.
They
you
do
play
put
limbo.
a bounce house now on the rink.
I don't
which
like
Oh,
is-
that's
I-
new.
That's
I
new.
haven't heard of that.
Well, the
That's
one
new.
that I go to, they have
I'm
a
a
bounce house
purist.
at the far end of the rink.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So I've been to the Cimarron Skateway
Mm-hmm.
multiple times with my sons.
You've been there?
And
Oh, my God.
and I've looked around, and it is like you're transported back to the 80s.
That place
because-
looks like the prison from Walking Dead.
I know. Good job, by the way, painting it bright, grim as purple. That really helps my property value. Anyway.
They love bright colors. Skating rinks love bright colors.
But
Such
on
an
the
eyesore.
on the
It's an
inside,
eyesore.
I'm not skating around the outside.
They want you to see it.
Like,
so
it
you show up.
It looks like a military installation that you painted like vomit purple.
Just make the outside look like a megachurch or something, anything,
Yeah.
but don't paint it bright
Put
purple.
a fountain out there.
Dude,
for
the one that I
Christ's
go
sake.
to, Astro Skate, it is hot pink on the
Astro
outside.
Skate.
Yeah,
My
Astro
God,
Skate.
I wouldn't go in there.
God.
Travis Scott trying to kill you.
Anyway, how has it not changed in so long? Like, how has it not evolved?
Why change it? It's perfect.
But everything changes, right?
No, it's perfect the
Like,
way it is.
Can you think of any other
Bowling alley.
bowling alleys have changed?
They have, yeah.
Have they? I haven't been to one.
Most are the same, but there are some that are different.
Tom is the only person that takes his kids to do fun stuff because I'll have you know that my daughter has never been bowling.
Does she
My-
hate fun?
She's
Never?
She's never been bowling because there's too much dance. I got to get her dancing so she can be rich. She's never been bowling. She's never been mini golfing. There's so many things she's never done.
The bowling and mini golf?
No, never.
My sons have been bowling and mini golf like 100 times.
We
already.
waited until she turned 5 to take her to Olive Garden.
Anyway, but bowling, I feel like they've added giant screens. The technology and how you enter your name has all changed, right? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
God, I haven't been. I couldn't tell you.
The if you call it a sport, the hobby or whatever it is, the game hasn't changed, right? But that's what's weird about the skating rink. It's not a game. I mean, they have the game.
Skating's not a game, bro.
But it's just it's an
They have
activity. They do have games, but even the games haven't changed. Like,
No,
they
the
still,
games have not changed.
They still
Limbo,
use the
they do limbo, 4 corners,
Backward skate.
backward skate.
fuzzy dice.
Then do they still do couple skate only?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then dance skate. Like if
Yeah,
you're gonna dance skate,
freestyle, yeah.
freestyle skate, where you go out there and you're moving and grooving. So be careful, look for people. Then they do littles. The littles they get like 20 minutes.
But you
Then
think
the adult only they get like 20 minutes.
they would add or even modify the actual the rink itself, like and add something or like some
You know what I
technology,
expected?
anything.
I
I don't know,
expected-
something.
It's just
It's
a
the
disco
same.
ball.
You know
It's
what?
the same.
He's
It's
right.
never changed.
How about a light up floor, right? That would be cool. How about a floor that moves? How about like hallways?
Oh, hold on now.
How about hallways that we can
Different
go down?
shapes, yeah.
Yeah,
Like a maze.
a maze would be dope, but you'd need a ginormous monstrosity to do
I
a
asked
maze.
this question on Saturday while I was at the skating rink, and we could not come up. Well, my husband said money, but it's like, yeah, but people are building new businesses all the time.
And since it's popular,
And we know this is popular. It's very cheap babysitting.
Yeah, yeah.
They have summer programs where all these kids just sit there all day for 8 hours while their parents do whatever.
Yeah, adults are into it. I mean, like, why wouldn't you make it a bigger, like,
Adult
a bar?
nights are slammed. Exactly.
You know,
I only think there's only one skating rink that has a bar.
Well, my
traditionally,
favorite
you
one.
could always get beer. Like, even when I was a kid in the 80s, like, my parents were drinking beer at the state. Like, they served Budweiser and Bud Light.
Well, they definitely
draft.
don't at Astro Skate.
They don't.
Yeah, they had beer.
I don't think they do at Cimarron
Maybe
either.
they don't.
I think they had beer.
I think
at,
they do at Skate Reflections. at
When we
Kissimmee.
did the when we went to the demolition derby, the roller derby,
roller derby. They had beer.
at Cimarron
Yeah, they had
Skateway,
beer.
maybe it's because it was an adult event or whatever, but they have
Right.
the ability to do it. That's all I'm saying.
I
you know?
think
they
that-
have the license, or maybe, or
Yeah,
I don't
Dayton
know.
Skate had it in
Do
Deland.
they though?
I think.
Because I also feel like skating rinks kind of skirt the rules
Yeah.
on things. Like the one that I just went to on Memorial
no
Day.
insurance claims there.
They were just out there with a giant propane tank in the
Just
parking
grilling?
lot grilling hot dogs, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys don't know how to didn't know how to operate the propane.
That's
it was
what,
dangerous.
That's what car lots do to try and get you to buy. You know, you're trying to get in there to buy a Mazda 3, and he's over there, got the salesman over there grilling dogs.
I mean, the whole. I need to watch a roller rink documentary because the entire business is odd, and the fact too, like
I think we're wrong about having beer there.
What do you mean?
I don't know if I'm trying
I
to
don't think they
remember,
do.
and I don't know if mine.
Because of liability.
that's
I would
what I'm-
assume
That's
so.
what I'm
The
gonna
whole thing is
think.
crazy liability. Also,
You have to sign a waiver before you can skate.
You do, but we know the waivers don't
Man,
mean anything.
you didn't have to sign a waiver when I was a kid. You'd walk up there, you'd pay. They'd hand you brown potato skates with orange stoppers and orange wheels. They haven't changed.
Yeah.
You'd strap those guys on. If you had socks, if you didn't have socks, you couldn't skate. And then you get like popcorn, hot dog. You play video games, and then you go hang out with girls in the dark. That's what you did.
And you skate around the.
Hey, I got you a documentary, United Skates.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's
I
just
like
about
that.
roller rinks around the country or whatever.
It looks like it's actually more focused on how the roller rinks have been part of the African American culture.
Really?
Okay, so- yeah. Well, I mean, what was that movie that Bow Wow was in?
I don't know.
No, it's a famous movie about like roller rinks. Like
I don't know.
Roll bounce, like something like I don't know. It was like some sort of movie about like
Roll bounce.
roll bounce. See, I got it right. My memory's working again. Yeah, that's it. That's a decent
What?
movie.
All
If you
right.
want to see some awesome skating, check that out. You might really like that, Sam. Check that out.
Like, you know.
I don't know. Bow Wow and Nick Cannon. I don't know if I
I don't
can
know if
do
you can
it.
handle that much D.
And it was weird too because even like Cimarron Skateway, it's only open on certain nights. Like it's not open all the time. Which
Oh,
is
I didn't
weird.
know that.
Yeah. Like it's not open Monday through Friday. It's open
Really?
on certain nights. I could be wrong about this,
That
but
is
my
crazy.
kids have wanted to go there before, and Crystal looked it up and like, oh, it doesn't open till 7 tonight, 7 to 9 or whatever. But it's only Monday. You know, it was like limited. It wasn't a set schedule, like open during the day, closed at night type of deal. And it's just a gigantic warehouse that I'm sure is like electricity costs and all that stuff. Just
You know
to
what I
operate
remember,
it.
and I don't know if this is
You know,
the
to
same.
cool that place has got to be expensive.
I remember our Dayton Skate in Deland. It was called Dayton Skate, and then I think it's called The Rink now. I think, and I think they do like quinceañeras and like wedding. They do all kinds of stuff because it's just a big room
open
now.
space, yeah.
So I remember going there, and one of the things that I remembered as a small boy and understanding the ramifications of this is that there was one or no adults on staff. And what I mean by that is
all teens.
my mom and dad would drop me off with my god sisters, and they were really good skaters. I was okay. And we'd skate, and it would be like all of the referees for skating were kids.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
DJ was a kid. The person making hot dogs and doing popcorn. The person spraying the disinfectant into the skates was a kid. They're all kids.
It was a kid's job.
Yeah, there was
you
like
know?
one adult, one old lady
It's
or one
still
old
that
man.
way.
Yeah, is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just stereotypically, I think, a kid's job working at the roller rink.
Kind of cool though. I think it'd be fun.
But I'm even thinking of other similar type things like putt-putt golf. Like that's evolved into bigger, more elaborate putt-putt golf
Oh, it's
places.
got
you
a
know what I'm
TV
saying?
show now, for Christ's sake. I mean, holy moly!
Yeah.
basically is on the premise of the resurgence of mini golf.
Yeah, and so I'm just surprised that they haven't implemented anything else that would be like, oh, that's new, because it literally, I'm like, this could be exactly if you put someone from the 80s and you took away everybody's iPhone and then planted them in there in 2022. It would take them a while to figure it out there in the future.
Especially
you know
if you had
like,
the music right.
Yeah.
If you had the music right, you
Right.
had some Journey on. They're like, wow, yeah, I woke up. I was back in 1982.
Like there would almost be
You're right.
nothing to tell. Maybe the arcade games have changed, obviously because but
I don't think they noticed that. I think you're right.
But it's like everything's basically the same. The lighting, how they,
The snack bar, everything's the same.
Because it still provides the same amount of value, right? Like most of these things have to change because
people will stop going.
Right, but it's
people
almost-
will always go to the skating rink.
I
is
kinda
that
think they
part of
will.
it too, though? Like, do you want the nostalgia of it? Because think about why.
well, now you
Well,
do.
kids love it too, though.
True, but I'm saying, is this why adults are getting more into it because they could kind of be transformed back into their childhood?
I mean,
because
that goes
nothing's
back
really
to your,
changed.
We're
I
all
don't
here
know.
just to get out of here. I mean, that's right.
Because maybe it's advantageous to their business model to not change because nostalgia
Little slice
plays.
of the nostalgia, yeah.
If it was something you weren't familiar with, maybe you wouldn't like it as much. Maybe part of it
I
is
think there's
nostalgia.
something to that. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, the gateway
There's
to
gotta
it
be a
might
re-
be. Yeah,
It has to be a reason because every other business because we're capitalists, right? Whatever makes you the most money. So money will change your business,
Sure.
because it'll influence you to change, and it hasn't with roller rinks. So that tells me that it's actually
So when
disadvantageous.
are we building our Tom and Dan roller rink?
Oh, I would love to have one.
And then
do
we
you know
can
how to
make
skate?
it-
The insurance, I could get on skates. I could do anything.
It might be good.
I don't think you could, dude.
Name-
you can't skip. I don't think you can skate.
I actually
Well,
think it
that's
would help
impossible.
I think skating. Now, hear me out. But I think we make a lot of jokes about you being stiff, and I've been working on. But I'm as stiff as you are, maybe more so, just because of riding the stupid Peloton all the time and my legs being so stiff. But I think it might help your flexibility to get on there and move some muscles you don't normally move because you're in a way better shape than you have. Like you're in best shape you've been in what 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
So I think you on skates, it would probably loosen you up a little bit.
I am too embarrassed to
There it is again.
have fun in front of people.
God, that's the most
Why?
honest. I think that's the most honest thing he's ever said on the show.
Because I look at it like, what are you doing, old man? On those skates, you think you're better than all of us?
but
I
you
don't know.
don't think that. You just want to have fun with
No,
your sons.
But
Like, it's
when I
innocent.
see an old man on skates, I'm like, what are you doing? You're supposed
Well,
to
that just
sit.
makes you a bad person.
Yeah, kinda
I'm like,
does.
sit here.
Most
on-
people don't think this
Why
way.
are you so mean?
sit here on the bench with me and look at your phone like all the other dads. You're out there skating. You think you're more fun than the rest of us? Be miserable over here on the bench.
That explains a lot.
So I feel like if I get up there, then I'm basically
You're making a fool of yourself.
I'm making a fool of myself, and I'm shaming, or I'm like,
You're
I'm sure
shaming
the kids.
the other dads that have given up.
Yes, yeah.
Well, screw them. Have fun with your kids.
Why did it take this conversation for him to say the truth? Like, that's exactly the explanation we've been searching for about a year now.
Also, it seems not fun to me.
You wouldn't know.
Because like
Let him know what
Come
he
out
knows.
to the outside rink with me.
He knows what he
'Cause-
knows. He
'cause
doesn't have skates, and he's got big feet. I don't know if you know that. Big
can wear my husband's.
ding dong.
eventually I'll fall on my ass.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, now that I'm 40 years old, like going from
It hurts, buddy.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
straight
Maisie-
onto my ass.
My elbow's still messed up from when I fell.
Maisie fell right on her face ice skating last weekend. She has a black bruise on the bottom of her
Yeah.
chin. It makes her look like Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon. She has like a little black goatee. It's a bad bruise, real bad.
So then when I inevitably fall, I will ask myself, was this worth it? Like, was the fun worth the risk of falling? And in my mind, it isn't.
You know what I miss from?
I don't like doing things that kids are also doing.
Because they might be better than you, and that makes you mad?
Like, I don't like doing the same activities as kids.
Because you're an
You
adult.
do that all the time.
No, I like playing with my sons, but I'll never do that with any other kids. I
Yeah.
don't like any other kids.
Or alone. Like, he isn't going to run out and run
Like-
through the sprinklers by himself.
Like, I'll play with my kids all the time, every day, all day, but only my kids. Other kids, not interested at all. In fact, I want them the hell away from
He
me.
said that to
Really, I don't
Maisie.
wanna
That's
talk-
why.
He said that to
Yeah,
Maisie.
My life.
I get with you. Like, any other kids besides my kids.
That's why I
I'm
can't
not-
go back to the skating rink unless it's adults only because I wanted. It was just.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
He said it to
I'll
Maisie.
with all those
He's
children.
like, you get the hell out of here. You're not Tommy or Max. And I was like, you heard him. Get on out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they're all wrestling with me, I'll do. But just
Man,
know
he
that
talks
I'm
a
like,
big game. They love him, and he loves them, and he's the monster, and they all scream for it. He's so fun. He makes me.
But see, that's you're such.
I am so
you're
not
so
fun.
contradictory in the fact that
He
you
is.
say you don't want to have fun in front of
You
others.
should see him work the pool with the
But
kids.
then you play with the kids in
Oh,
front of all the other parents.
You don't even understand how good
But
he is
that's
at
the
it. He's like, here comes, he does voices. Here comes the monster.
You like shaming your friends, but not strangers. You are an odd
Yes.
person.
He's crazy. I've been saying this.
You need to go to the therapy with Dan.
No.
But also
Double
part
therapy.
like I became the hey, this dad will play like
and
games with
they
us.
love you, dude.
But they asked me to do it.
You hate it, but you do it.
I don't want to disappoint them and say no because they'll be disappointed, so I'll just do it.
But
I'd rather sit there and drink White Claw with the adults.
No, they love it. Maisie
yeah.
will mention it. She's like, why don't you play with the kids like Mr. Tom does? He's fun. And I'm like, well, I'm an adult.
I know.
And
I'm
sit
jealous of
and-
that.
And I drink White Claws.
And there's also a thing in the back of my head that I want my sons to remember, like, oh, my dad used to play with me all the time. Like
That's gonna make me cry.
No. I think about those things. Like when they're older, I hope they remember, like, oh, my dad. You know, I don't want to be like,
Dad wouldn't leave me alone. I just wanted to play video games.
you know, my dad. That's fine, but I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, my dad was drunk in the corner.
You know, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
No.
My dad was drunk and playing basketball with me.
That's fine.
Yeah,
It was not fun.
That's me in the corner. That's me there losing my religion. Right there, just drinking all the White Claws. You know, Maisie said to me, she comments about you doing that. She's like, Mr. Tom is so fun. He throws me so far. She loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah, but I'm just manipulating the system because I'm not fun, but they will remember me being fun. They'll be like, Tom, Mr. Tom was the funnest.
Oh, they say it. She says it.
He had the most fun.
Yeah.
But all our listeners, you guys
We
will
know
know.
it's
Yeah, you'll
not,
be like,
yeah.
there, he lied. But these
He's
kids,
lying.
the new generation, I'm marketing to the new generation like cigarettes. You got to get them early. You know, Joe Camel. I'm the Joe Camel of fun.
Big penis nose. You knew that, right?
I never got that, by the way. They're like, turn it upside down, it looks like a penis. I'm like, I don't
no.
Tom's like, not mine.
Like,
Hold on. You guys don't know
show me
this.
an elevator button. Not a big Joe Camel. No. A big a full-grown camel snoot.
Oh, that's big.
Has no.
Big and bulbous.
You've
does
never
not look
seen
like
that
any
it's
penis
a-
I've seen.
Okay, like it's this.
When I was a kid.
It's the main ad. It's this.
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
see
okay,
how
yeah,
his
yeah,
lips are balls, and then this is the ween.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
but again,
it's
when I was
all deliberate.
I heard that as a kid, and I saw that, and I was like, that doesn't look like anything. I was like, doesn't look like my dad or me. That's all I know about. I mean, you know, if you're Adrian Peterson's son, you're like, oh yeah, that's a penis.
My dad looks like my dad's. It
a
looks like Joe
full-grown
Camel's
camel-
face.
Yeah, like a full-grown camel snoot, gigantic, a tiny bunched up button. You know. All right.
Next email. Right?
We
Are we
don't
doing
have an
email?
Oh, we
No,
were
didn't.
doing it. I was
No,
gonna
we're
ask
talking
them.
roller.
Back to roller skating.
Oh, okay, back to.
You know, Bus keeps trying to get me to go to the rink with him.
think
And I
that's,
told him I had a very traumatic experience the first time I went. It's going to take me a bit before I'm comfortable going back. And I just listened to Bungalower in the bus, and he took a friend out there, broke his arm.
Really?
Yeah. And now I'm like, well, I'm definitely not going out with Bus now.
Well, like falling, that is.
But I wear a lot of pads.
I made the comment earlier that it would help you loosen up if you skated, and I do believe that. But the thing you and I have to worry
he's
about.
going to stiff skate.
Well, when you stiff fall, like I
Oh,
fell off of that
bad.
electric skateboard, and I haven't been the same since. This wrist, when I landed, like this wrist,
Yep.
like there are certain positions I do when I'm playing guitar. Like I have to loosen up. I have to go stretch
my
it.
elbow,
I'm
my
like,
wrist are messed up. From,
it's not
'cause
right.
I went to fall, and I went straight on, like, so it jammed my elbow in.
Yeah.
Oh, it still hurts. I can't extend all the way back now.
Remember she fell on her ass and then her jaw
Yeah, she
didn't
dislocated
close
her jaw.
right.
for 8 months.
God, we're old.
You know,
Hold on, I'm doing it to myself.
You're not used to falling straight on a hard floor with not catching yourself at all. Like,
Maisie does something.
It'll rattle your bones.
Maisie does something now that if I did it, I would instantly start crying. And I think you two would as well. She can go from like this. She can go from a full standing position and then jump down on her knees. and her knees will hit the concrete like, gang, no big deal. Just like, I'm doing a dance move. I don't know how that works. If I were to do that, I think my spine would just be like,
oh yeah.
Like, it would
pay
rattle
for it
me.
for weeks. The kids, they're light. First of all, that helps. They're only falling down to 43 pounds.
Yeah,
you know
not
what I'm
even.
saying? And their bones are rubber, so they don't feel it.
What about indoor skates? Do they make anything that you can wear inside your house to skate?
You can actually modify your Vans to have skates. That's a whole thing you can do now. There's like a lot of Etsy shops that are doing
skate
that.
Vans.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of cool.
I thought about getting some.
Because the old school roller skates are just a leather shoe, right, with a hard bottom that you bolt the skates
It's
to.
a metal, like aluminum metal bottom, and then they have for me, it was always those bright orange wheels.
Yeah,
and then you'd have orange laces and orange stoppers, and they were like high tops, and they kind of looked like...
Now you can get low tops or high tops. There's different styles. There's also inside wheels, outside wheels.
I like high tops only because
high tops
I got
too.
weak-ass ankles from soccer.
So let me ask you, Sam, what would enhance the experience? Because we kind of stumbled upon there's a nostalgic
Ecstasy wouldn't... I mean, you take ecstasy while you're skating.
a nostalgic aspect of why they haven't changed. But if you were going to build your own roller rink and to encompass like not only kids but adults like that are getting into roller skating,
honestly, and there's Central Florida Skate Park, I believe it's called, which is an inside skate park. That there's skateboarders in there too, but they have like roller days, and like people just go in there on their quads, so then you can go up ramps, around corners, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's
Skate
more of like
parks.
an obstacle course type thing.
yes, I know that's a friend of mine. She goes to the skate park with her sons, and she roller skate or quads, and their sons skateboard.
Oh, all of his friends are like, hey,
Let's
looking down your mom's shirt when she fell over there.
Yeah, she got big fakos too.
Does she?
Yeah.
Fakos.
My
yeah.
friend
Oh, they're
Lu-
definitely
Lucy,
talking about it.
Yeah, you'll sit up there and
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
her go up and down, and then she falls, or she bends down to tire skate, and you look down her shirt.
Yeah, that's happening.
That's
sure.
what you do.
Yeah, because she's Colombian.
Oh, she got a big booty. I bet.
Oh,
I love them. Round,
Yeah.
round mound.
All the skate kids they're looking at.
Oh
it.
yeah, 100%.
but-
That would make it better.
What about different? Like they're all smooth, but different style flooring, right? Follow me here. Like your skating ground, it's always been the traditional like basketball hardwood, right? Like the wood.
See, some have updated.
Okay,
So some
all right.
have like, what, some of
Concrete.
there's some concrete ones, and then there's some that are like that hard foam that sometimes you'll find at like a playground. You know what I'm talking about?
The bouncy foam.
So
Yes.
when you fall, there's a little give.
All of them should be that way.
but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
hard.
that-
Doesn't that
see,
slow you
that's what-
down? It slows you down, right?
I'm sure you have to work harder to go fast, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never actually skated on
but
one.
better to fall on.
Yeah.
So that is a good example of technology changing. What I'm talking about is like, how about around the whole rink? Like there's a 20-foot section of smooth concrete, a 20-foot section of some sort of different textured surface that
what'd be
you can
great?
like slide on, different things that
Yeah.
you're like, I
How
don't know.
about a people mover that goes up just enough for you to get up to the top of a hill, and you could just come back down, and then you could grab it and go back up,
Yeah, some sort of
like almost
level
like an escalator
change.
of some
Yeah.
sort.
Even small, like
not crazy.
like it just goes up 2 feet in a span of 20 feet. So you're just like going over a hump. I don't know.
I got
Like,
some.
Any change
I got something
would be
else.
something.
You can listen to the music that the DJ's playing on the speakers, or you can bring your own headphones and Bluetooth into their system to get premium audio.
A lot
That
of
would make it
people
better.
do like the quiet raves, right? So everyone
Yeah.
has their own headphones and they're dancing to their own music.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. But I mean, like, it'd be cool if you could listen to what they're doing, so you could all like choreograph
Yeah.
it. I guess. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Or have the roller skating rink when I was a kid, and I don't see too much of this now, but it had a middle area where it was built up walls of carpet, and then basically you can go in on like 4 points, but in the side or inside of it was a miniature roller rink that was probably the size of these two studios or
Yeah.
whatever. So it was a small area inside, but it was walled off, and there was a middle. Did you guys ever have that?
Ours was set up like, okay.
In the middle of the big rink?
Yes, like in the direct center. There's
You had a
tiny,
bigger rink than us. We were small.
That's usually in a separate room.
Okay, this is Hot Wheels Miami circa
Look that up.
1989.
You had a bigger rink. See, ours was very small, standard warehouse. And then imagine you come through the double doors, and to your right is a glassed-off little ticket area where, the little glass, and then you buy a ticket.
Same thing with the Cimarron Skateway.
Yeah, and then you go in, and then to your right is snack bar. To your left is skates. Then to your far left is arcade games, and then in front of you is oval rink. That's it. Nothing else.
Yes, yeah.
That's it.
Cimarron Skateway has like a kid area, like a square kid area that's just for like young kids, and then but the same snack bar, and then like a little arcade section. But like the inside of where you pick up your like potato skates or whatever, looks like it's never changed since the 80s.
No,
like,
no, it hasn't.
The wood cubbies,
Formica.
the like wood cubbies that are 50 years old that have the scratches of 50 years of people putting skates in and out of them. Like they have a smell to it. It smells like my old elementary school.
Yeah.
Like it.
Probably asbestos or something.
No, I know. It's like wood
Some sort
mixed
of material breaking down the half-life of the drywall.
Like
I found it.
What?
I found Hot Wheels. There's a video.
That's a good name, dude. That's a good name.
No,
for a
I
skate
have
place.
never seen this type of skating rink.
Hot Wheels is a good name.
It was in Miami, and they used to have a giant roller skate that would drive around town.
That's dope. We need that for a show.
That's
it was like the
hilarious.
Oscar Mayer Wienermobile of
You
roller
need that,
skates.
Sam. You need to drive around town. We should have
I
done that
want
with the
one.
Griff truck. Falconer Jones, if you're listening.
Give it back.
Yeah, we're going to need that truck back. We're making a big roller skate.
He was driving it around Memorial Day. He's like,
loves
in
it.
honor of Memorial Day, I am driving around the
That's
Griff truck.
disrespectful.
Well, no. He loves it. I'm like, why? And he's got the new Bronco.
It's his favorite
Oh,
video.
did he get it?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
got
Rich people can
Yeah,
get them,
yeah.
Sam.
He paid extra. He's got a million different cars. The guy I think he's a millionaire.
The new Bronco looks amazing if you can get one.
But he drives around the Griff truck. I'm like,
He chooses that over a 2022 Bronco Sasquatch package. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So I wonder what you could make at a roller rink, because
I always assume that those type of businesses are legacy businesses in the fact
Oh,
that
I found the giant skate car.
That
it looks awesome.
I feel like somebody's dad or mom or grandpa or grandma or great-grandma or great-grandpa own that land
and they left it to him.
And they left it to them, and they're just barely keeping it open, and maybe they're independently wealthy. I always assume that.
Because they charge
they
a
making
decent.
money?
It's just like getting passed down generation to generation, right?
Yeah, that's what I assume, but I could be wrong.
It's not ultra cheap, and I've been on there. Like they partner with the schools. This is
Oh
brilliant.
yeah, they get breaks. Yeah.
When I go on like my kids' elementary school night, right, and they market. Like at the elementary school, they market like, hey, you get a discount and we're all going to be there. It's brilliant, by the way, for the actual roller rink, because when I go there for the elementary school night, it is slammed.
Yes.
Like there are.
Oh, I'm telling you, dude, I went on Memorial Day and it was
150
slammed because they're doing a summer camp. They all do summer camps too.
And it's like
It's free, not free, but it's cheap babysitting.
I think it's like $15 for the kids to skate or something like that.
I don't even think it's that much, dude.
Okay,
I thought it was like it wasn't.
I mean,
insanely
maybe if
cheap.
you have to rent your skates, yeah.
No,
okay, so
like,
I
we bring
think
our own.
I think that
Maybe
Hot
it's
Wheels
cheaper.
is now Super Wheel
It
Skating
is, yeah.
Center. And I'm on their website, and I'm looking at the potato skates, and damned if those aren't exactly. I mean, apparently everybody had the same potato skates. We always call
Oh
them
yeah, they still have those.
potato skates. And then the skate car is freaking amazing. There's the skate car.
Look at it. It's awesome.
Dude, skate car's where it's at. It's even got a stopper in the front.
You know what? Maybe I was just born hating fun because
Hey,
you hate all of
Cimarron
us?
Skateway's hiring, guys.
even when I was a kid and saw that skate car riding around Miami, I didn't like
Would
it.
you
Everybody's
spit
like,
on
"Oh,
it?"
look at no!" I was just like, stupid.
Are we going to trace back your hatred of fun?
I remember it would pull up in front of our like middle school, and people were like, "Oh, the skate car's here!"
Yeah, skate car.
And then I was like, "I'm not even looking at it."
You disgust me, skate car.
You're stupid.
Why did you, as a small child, you hated a skate car? I didn't think it was possible.
Didn't even.
Wow, you hated fun from the beginning.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
man,
born
that's
this way.
that's
Lady Gaga. You can't hate on.
It's like $10 to go skating.
They got a STEM
that-
program.
Yeah. And
STEM.
it's $3 to rent skates.
But even with
It's cheap.
$10, when there were 200 people packed in that place. So like that's $2,000 right there.
Yeah.
And then you rent skates.
Drinks, snacks, arcade
Yeah.
games.
Skate lessons are $10 a session.
You got to be pulling like $5,000 in one of those nights in revenue. But I guess then you get to pay your employees to AC, like the power bill in that place has got to be
Sam,
a crazy amount.
Do they have this at your skateway? Because man, Super Wheels in Miami, they have all these classes, and they teach you, like in the beginning class, you get push and roll, balance on one foot, roll to a T-stop,
Yeah, I
back
did this.
scissors. And then in the intermediate, they get you spirals, body posture, 2-foot turn, bunny hop, scooter side push. And then the advanced, they teach you mohawk turns, 1-foot turns, edges, basic footwork, jumps and spins, dances, and figures. That's pretty cool. You can. I didn't know you could I
You can level up, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's odd who knows how to skate because it's not a stereotypical. When I see the dads get out there, because
It transcends race and age, I believe, too.
and
Oh, we have a direct link. Craig LaFleur's family used to own a skating rink in Louisiana.
really,
Let's ask him about it.
I want to know the business. Like, how
Yeah.
can you make money?
If we,
Yeah, sounds like it.
If you can, we should buy a skating rink
I'm down.
and only play our podcast while you skate. No music.
It seems like you're gonna be constantly sued because no one's wearing helmets again, which is odd in our current day society. You'd think one nerd would be in there with a helmet, no helmet,
Yeah.
not even one. It's weird. You always see one overly cautious person in any
I
other.
see people in pads, but not helmet.
Yeah. I'll see a knee pad or a kid, whatever, but never a helmet. And I see kids falling, hitting their heads
Oh,
all the
yeah.
time. Like,
Never seen a helmet.
you're wearing wheels on your feet,
Yeah.
and they get launched out
With
from
other
under you.
people with wheels on their feet, and they're falling down left and right.
yeah.
That was the thing. I can't do it with the kids anymore because I'm eventually going to hurt one of these kids.
I like it
because
when
they
they-
just fall right in front of you or stop right in front of you.
I like
yeah.
it when they grab other adults as they're going down, dragging the adult down
I
as
straight
well.
up told a girl, she looked at me, and I go, "You better go because I can't stop."
I
But
like
I
that.
almost ran right through her.
I like it when little kids are floundering and then they grab your sweatshirt,
Do not
pulling
do
you
that.
to the ground.
Yeah.
I love that.
And like, there's all these signs about like, do not hold your kid on roller skates because I imagine like
Oh, your body weight will smoosh the hair out of them, killing them.
some dad
Oh,
holding a baby on skates. They're like, like zick, and then you're falling with your full fat dad
Oh,
weight
on
your
concrete.
kid. Yeah, and smushing your kid. Like,
Yeah.
for sure that. But again, no one's enforcing any of this. It's total chaos. There's 250 people on roller skates falling all over the
Yeah.
place. Like, I imagine owning that business. You're just like, well, it's any day now. Someone's going to have a traumatic brain injury and be in a wheelchair for the rest of their life, and they are suing me out of existence because some kid spilt their Coke, and some lawyer is gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
sue my insurance company. At least, here's the thing. They'll sue your insurance company, and then the insurance company will be like, well, we settled. Bye-bye. We're never going to
think
insure you.
just like nothing's changed with skating rinks, I think they are the only company that is a be cool bro scenario. All the patrons they don't care. If they get hurt, they're like, my own fault.
I
Be cool,
remember
bro.
when I was a
Crazy.
young boy,
It's
I
crazy.
remember I would go there and I enjoyed the skating and I'd skate with my god sisters and have a great time. But I would look up at that DJ booth and I'd always be like, "Hey, one day, man.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I know
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
I'll
in
be
that
cool.
DJ booth.
I'll get to
and
pick the
I'm gonna
music.
play in Supersonic.
Which, by the way, my husband basically is now because he brings a giant powered speaker out to the outdoor rink and we just
Dope.
blast his Spotify.
That's dope.
We have our own skating
playlist,
playlist,
whatever.
which I'm sure all the randoms that show up hate, but yeah,
As far as kid jobs go, being a roller rink DJ,
super fun.
when I was a kid, that was the
Oh yeah, top tier.
the top tier of cool
How
jobs
was
you could
your
have as a kid,
setup?
right?
How was your setup? Because ours, the booth had glass and it was
Yeah.
like angled,
Yep.
so it like kind of came out like
Like a golf cart windshield.
well, more like a air traffic controller. You know how the towers have it's like the windows are angled.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like out, so the top, and then it kind of tailors down. Like his window was out, so he kind of looked over the rink, and it was tinted in really cheap dark purple, and that's because they tinted it themselves. Dark purple tint, and you couldn't see in there, but you could just see a silhouette, almost like Deal or No Deal. You'd see the banker up there,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, one day I'm gonna see what's up there. I'm gonna see that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. Like I'd look up there and be like, I'm gonna be up there playing the rap music. You'll see.
And they weren't using turntables or anything.
No,
right?
no,
like
CD
No.
player.
There's just a
Tape
CD player.
deck, CD player.
But they-
sometimes the radio, if nobody was up there, they just turn it on like BJ 105 here in town and just let rock music play.
So they weren't doing anything manually with the music, but they were talking, right?
Yeah, they'd be like,
they were talking
couple
about
skate only. Couple skate only. And don't forget, we got 2-for-1 hot dogs at the snack bar. Daniel Lee Dennis.
Your mother's
Your
here.
mommy called you little baby pussy.
That happened.
Yeah, they do stuff like
That
that.
happened when I was there. They're like, James, come to the front. Your mom says you're leaving.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
They would
you
do
go
that.
to the DJ for announcements.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone's lights are on in the parking
Yep,
lot.
yep.
They'd be like, Dan Lee Dennis, your father's here to pick you up. And I'd go up there, and my dad would be in tiny dukes and a V-neck T-shirt with bright yellow armpit deodorant stains, and he'd be air humping to the music to embarrass me. He'd be like
He'd be
humping
loaded.
air. He'd be dancing. Yeah, he's got like 15 Jack and Cokes at him, and he's air humping with his friend Bucky, and they're dancing, trying to embarrass me, and then oh god.
Yeah.
And he loved it. They would been working on like a shed, so he would come into the Dayton skate covered in like paint or dirt or whatever, and it'd be so embarrassing.
You know what's? It tells me like when you're a kid, you don't go to the bathroom that much. Like you could, because I remember going to the roller.
Never
rink
went to the potty ever.
and never went. Like I was like,
No.
do you have to
Didn't
take
need
off
to.
your
Oh
my
skates
God.
when you go to the bathroom?
I might have been at the skating rink for 45 minutes and my husband peed twice. I was like, come on, man.
Does he skate in there?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
I never did that. Never put my skates in a bathroom. You know what? You bring up something that I'm thinking about it now. Never been in a skating rink bathroom ever.
because it's kind of gross because then you fall on the
Well, don't fall.
No, your wheels are putting pee-pee everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you skate
His wheels, your
you
wheels,
skate in the
anybody
pee-pee.
that goes in there is skating pee-pee everywhere.
yeah.
And then you go back
back
out
on the rink.
on the rink, and you're
Yeah.
skating pee-pee, and then I fall, and then I'm touching it with my hands
Yeah.
and my mouth.
Gross.
Or you're just sitting eating pizza, spinning your wheels with your hand. Don't do that. Don't touch the wheels. There's a lot of pee-pee on there.
They won't let you bring in dirty wheel skates of your own.
They check your skates.
Like
yeah.
No, they don't mind.
They
Not
don't?
at Astro Skate, they don't.
Oh,
because
they checked our
at
skates.
Cimarron,
That's what I've heard.
'Cause
I
there's
heard
certain
Cimarron is very...
certain things they don't want on their floor.
Oh,
Like certain-
Astro Skate, anything goes, baby.
all right, pee-pee skates. All right, bye.